Welcome to Ravston Stadium for tonight's exciting matchup between the Blackfoot Broncos and the Skyline Grizzlies. My name's Tim Belknap. I'm here on the play-by-play with my good friend Lance Taylor. Say hi, Lance.
Boy, I'll tell you, it's been a heck of a night getting here.
Lance already called one game tonight, and we're joining this game just a little bit late due to that game going a little bit long. We appreciate your patience, and we hope that you're able to tune in with us. We've got 6 minutes left in the first quarter. The score is 0-0. Been an interesting first quarter as Skyline received the ball, drove down a little bit, was stalled, kicked a punt. The punt was caught and then dropped by the Broncos. Skyline recovered. They drove down with a first and goal and then got a holding penalty. Put it back at the 30. And Lackland Hackey for the Grizzlies dropped back. He threw into the end zone. It was picked off by the Broncos. Tyler Vance. Vance brought it out to midfield, and we are just now over midfield. You see it about the 42-yard line as the Broncos with a 2nd and 4.
Well, and when Skyline got the holding penalty, Kenyon Sadiq actually had scored on the play, but ended up with the holding penalty. Took a direct snap in the Wildcat.
As Sadiq, a player to watch, of course, and for the Broncos, the King, Javonte King, he is a world-class, all-state receiver that we're going to see something from tonight, I am sure.
I'd imagine we are as well. And this is a team that the records, or this is a game that the records really don't indicate. As you look at Blackfoot, a team that is 1-2 on the season. However, both their losses came to 5A opponents, and both of them came by 1 point each. So they've got a total of 2 points for it. And then as far as Skyline goes, they're even with their 1-2 record, they're still the number 1 ranked 4A team in the state. And they are, and of course, I covered their first game, which was kind of a fluke loss to Green Canyon out of Utah.
Block kick?
Yeah, well, and then with no timeouts left, clock running down, everyone thought it was going to expire. And with about half a second on it, Green Canyon kicks a field goal and wins the game.
Amazing.
It was crazy.
Well, it's not very often you're going to find a 1-2 team, number 1 in the state.
Yeah, that's right.
But you've got to look at those games, and none of them in 4A teams. On that play, Blackfoot stopped. They're going to have a loss of 2 on the play as the running play, just nothing up the middle.
Look at Skyline's loss last week. He came to the number 1 ranked 5A team in the state, played down at Holt Arena against Rigby, and a lot of people don't realize that Skyline was kind of in control of that game. It took Rigby a couple fourth-quarter touchdowns to be able to pull that game out.
You know, prior to the game, I had a chance to visit with Coach Marlowe, who's the announcer here, a longtime Skyline coach. And I says, how in the world is a 1-2 team ranked number 1? And he goes, because we're good.
They are a very good team. And Blackfoot's a good team as well.
Blackfoot's showing. They're driving. They've brought this down the field. That throw from Grimmett. I didn't see who he connected with. Lance, did you?
I wasn't quite sure who he connected that with. You know, earlier in the week, I had the East Idaho podcast that I do with Brandon Bainey. And I
actually listened to you.
Blackfoot is one of the teams that we talked about that really, they actually come into this game with a few more questions than they do answers. I think we got more answers for Skyline. But one thing we know about Blackfoot, 1 is they're big, 2 is they're fast, 3 they can catch the ball, and 4 they're tough.
Well, Blackfoot's always tough. Those kids are just tough. I think you and I called a championship playoff game.
A state playoff game,
a couple of years ago, and that's just exactly what we saw. Just some tough kids. A screenplay looks like it'll be picked off by the Grizzlies. It is picked off by the Grizzlies. That ends up being Isaac Farnsworth. He just moved right in front of the receiver, pulled it in. Didn't look like he had it, but he does get it. And another turnover.
Yeah, well, and the pass was intended for Ramirez, and it kind of got lobbed a little bit. You know, you got to throw that just a little bit tighter where you are there. It became more of a jump ball, and if both come down with it in possession, that, of course, goes to the offensive man. Problem is Farnsworth was able to get it and take it all by himself. And no question, and now Skyline football on competing interceptions.
Yeah. Well, that just tells you what kind of a game it's going to be.
That's right.
Just a little under 4 minutes to go, and we are tied up at 0 and 1-1 on turnovers. Skyline Hackey looking for a receiver, and he's not finding anything. Looks like he's going to be brought down for a loss. He's going to probably lose 2 yards on that play. This is just what we expected to see, though. Really competitive teams.
And, you know, that defense right there, head by Trayton Henderson. One of the things we're noticing about Blackfoot early on in this ball game is their ability to get into the backfield quick.
Yes.
And one of the things that Skyline wants to do is certainly to avoid that, because if Hackey wants to be able to hit Kenyon Sadiq on a consistent basis, he's got to have the room to do it.
Hey, just take a minute after this play. I guess we'll do it. A quick pass is knocked down. Skyline's going to miss it. We want to recognize our power boosters and appreciate them helping us bring you this game. Tonight, the power boosters for Skyline being a Memorial Orthopedic Institute, Conan Heating and Air, all things automotive, Rockwell Homes, and MVP Rentals. And for the Broncos, Blaine Robbins Electric, Teton Auto Group, 21st Century Auto Sales, Conquest Insurance, and Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute. Just making sure they get their nod.
That was Tino with the knockdown that time for Blackfoot as Sadiq goes, or pardon me, Hackey from the shotgun again.
Yeah, Hackey's going to run out of the shotgun. He's got some pretty good legs, and we're seeing those legs right now as he's going to pick up the first down. And, oh, what a hit. Did you see him drop his head?
Yeah, we had a couple rams on the side of a mountain hit right there as they went head-to-head. And because both lowered their helmets, there's no targeting penalty in that situation as Sadiq comes over, gives him a high five, and might have said, how many fingers,
yeah.
which one's in the middle?
Yeah, that's one of those where you make sure you're going back to the right huddle. It's
yeah,
that
that's
hard
right.
of a hit.
That's right. Well, Tim, it looks like we've got new windows up here this year.
Pardon?
We've got new windows up here this year.
We took some out so we could see. Took a window out. I do think it's new. This one's a little bit dirtier than the one that you're seeing. Hopefully you get a good view.
Well, I'm kind of split down the middle. You know, it kind of matches my personality. But what I am is with the right eye I'm seeing clear. With the left I'm seeing a little bit of tint.
Yeah, it is a great game. We're coming up on just almost 2 minutes to go here. And we've kind of moved just back and forth. And I think that's the kind of game we're going to see. Typically, you say in something like this, the team that wears the other team down physically is the one that's going to come out ahead.
That's right, particularly when you have two teams that their strengths are in the same area. You know, you got good receiving cores, which means that's what you play against in practice every week. So you typically know how to defend that quite well.
Hackey connects to Sadiq, real close to first down. I think they're going to be short a couple of yards.
They're calling it incomplete.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they did. The initial line judge actually called it good, and then from the backfield comes the judge.
He had a better view of that trap against the ground. But it looked like a good pass, and certainly Sadiq has had more than one.
Well, Sadiq, no question about it. I mean, he's a next-level type of receiver, and only a junior is Sadiq. Was a great player last year as a sophomore as well, not only in football but also in basketball.
You know, the fun part is we called his name a lot last year. He just got a fun name to say over here.
And we're calling it this year, and we'll call it again next year.
That's right. We're getting used to that name.
He actually got away with a false start that time.
Yeah, he did.
Sadiq.
Hackey's going to pass it down to Sadiq, but he's not going to gain back what he needs.
It was actually Silverio got it that time. Yeah,
You're
Silverio
right.
ended up bringing it up, and Silverio is another one of those that because of the threat that Sadiq is, sometimes Silverio gets forgotten about by the defense, and he's a guy that can come and pick up some significant yards.
Well, that's what happens when you have a perennial receiver that everybody's looking for.
Yeah.
Is a lot of times you'll have double coverage on them. You'll have the safety cheat over, come in. You'll have the corner playing tight on them. And that's just exactly what you want if you've got somebody like Silverio. And I expect to see them. I really think that we're going to see some running play here to try to open out middle. But on a fourth down play, this one's going to be nothing but in the air, I'm sure. Hackey's going to take the snap. He's going to roll over to the left side of the field. Doesn't look like he's got a receiver, and he's going to be brought down for a loss of 6. That'll be a turnover. Just what I said before. It's going to be that kind of a night.
Well, it was fantastic for them to be able to to defend that on the angle. And anytime you can do it on the angle, not let them turn that corner, good things are going to happen defensively. For all of your commercial John Deere new and used agriculture equipment, choose C&B Operations, Eastern Idaho's premier John Deere dealership. Visit C&B Operations at 1102 West Bridge Street. That's in Blackfoot for all of your equipment needs, or visit them online.
C&B right there, okay.
Of course, online, it's at DeereEquipment.com. You can spell it out, DeereEquipment.com, DeereEquipment. C&B Operations in Blackfoot is a proud supporter of Blackfoot Athletics.
The Broncos take over. Grimmett's going to drop back. He's going to look, see if he can go deep. I bet he's looking for King. Doesn't get him, but he does get a nice reception. Let's see who that is. That looks like that's Hale, Deegan Hale. Hale's been pretty prominent tonight as I've been watching this game, as things were set up. I think this is the 4th or 5th pass he's picked up.
Yeah, the DB Storms comes over and was kind of on an island, ended up picking up the tackle, and good thing he was able to get him down. Otherwise, there was probably another 15 or 20 yards to come out of that.
You are not wrong, my friend. Not wrong. Blackfoot really kind of at an advantage. Skyline had that one drive, but they've been held for 2 other plays that just stalled out on them. And Blackfoot's been on this side of the 50 both of their possessions. So it's going to see if they can move that. I really am expecting to see Grimmett try and connect with King, because King, there it is. I knew it was coming. Hale, not King. King was over here towards the end zone, but that pass is going to fall incomplete. Skyline very pleased about that.
Well, that pass was thrown as well as you can throw it. It was just, it was defended well. And, other than that, I mean, that's not one you're going to hit somebody in stride. That's one that's going to, you're going to end up leaping for that at the end. Well, I think what we're going to end up seeing in this game, because these offenses are prolific, a lot of people think, well, we're going to get a really high-scoring game out of this. But because both teams know how to defend this style of offense, I think what we're going to see is we're going to see a game in the trenches today that's going to play a big role in the outcome of this game.
Well, and I really think that this is the conference championship game right here, because you don't have very many other teams out there that's going to, I think, fight for that title.
Well, you've got Hillcrest, for example, that is struggling.
Yeah, they're struggling.
You got a Shelley team that's playing much better than they played the last couple of years. But
well, they're undefeated at this point in time. Yeah. But I don't know that they've been tested yet.
Well, I don't think they're at this level.
Yes. All right, that's going to be the end of the first quarter. We're going to have the score 0-0. We're going to take just a small break. We'll be back in just a moment.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
Welcome back to Rouston Stadium. We're here as the Skyline Grizzlies are playing host to the Blackfoot Broncos in what has been a back-and-forth game of no score. The only score we're counting tonight is it's 1-1 on turnovers.
That's right. That's right.
Blackfoot with the ball to start this out.
And Tim, one of the things that we talk about at every level, from Little League football all the way up to the NFL, is turnovers are destructive. Turnovers just destroy you.
And there's no other way to say it. When you get to this level, and those kids are out there, they're excited, and then you get a turnover, it just takes the enthusiasm out of the game.
That was King with the reception out there.
Yeah, he jumped up. He kind of climbed the ladder to get that. Doesn't pick up a lot of yardage, but we know that he can jump. If any of you saw the picture of King on media this week, making that catch last weekend, one-handed falling into the end zone, Terrell Owens style, I'm sure that probably should have been on SportsCenter.
Probably should have been. Of course, there was a picture in the paper of it, so.
That's local SportsCenter.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right. Of course, those are the people who care the most. So
yeah, agreed. Blackfoot's going to line up a 2nd and 10 for them. Jackson Grimmett back to pass. He's got a nice pass, but well defended. But there's a flag on the play. He did have his hand back.
Yeah, he did, and I wondered if maybe they were going to call it as a holding and caught a little earlier.
Yeah.
It looked like he might have had a handful of jersey.
Jake Murdoch, he's not happy because he really did defend that well. I think as he went up, he just reached back to steady himself, caught the receiver, and while that.
Well, and you're allowed the gap. You're allowed the gap on that. You just can't.
I think he was pushing, though, to get a little extra height after the ball, and that's never going to be allowed, right?
Yep. That's going to come back and be assessed from the line of scrimmage.
We've got the ever-knowledgeable Lauren Jensen here in the booth with us. He knows his game, and he's been an official, and he's advising us. Now, all of a sudden, a hanky flies from the side judge over here by the Skyline team.
It might be a sideline warning, if so.
That's kind of what I thought. Somebody said something that they just didn't like, and that looks to be what it's going to be. The head judge now comes over, sideline warning. Actually, not a warning. They must have already given him a warning.
Well, the penalty is for the pass interference.
Okay, thank you.
That they're moving it. That's 15 yards, so it was just a warning on that play.
I called a game last night, and they had, I think, 6 sideline calls.
Wow.
I didn't know if that's something they're paying attention to this year, or if they were just bad
Well,
on the sideline.
each year they do have sometimes a rule or two that is kind of a point of emphasis that year, and that very well could be one of their point of emphasis this year as teams start to encroach just a little bit.
All right, Blackfoot across the 50-yard line again, now into Grizzly territory. They're going to hand off up the middle. A nice run, but a flag. This is going to be the night of flags.
Yeah, thus
Another
far
flag
it is.
coming out.
And Ramirez was able to really squirt up the middle and pick up some significant yards. You know, Ramirez is not a very big running back, but he's one of those guys that has a great center of gravity. And I'll tell you what, he's got the kind of speed that if he can break through your initial line and make the secondary come up and make those tackles, you're going to look at 3, 4, 5 yards every time he touches the ball. If you're not careful defensively.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's got some wheels. If he can actually break it, you got a problem. Unfortunately, on that one, the call against the Broncos, a holding penalty, is going to bring it back to the 40-yard line, 1st and 20 as they repeat that down. So they'll look to maybe find some of that success as they try to recover. Grimmett's going to keep the ball. Doesn't get much. He's going to pick up probably 4 yards as Skyline read that collapse and jumped in, grabbed him right in the middle after a gain of 4.
Yeah, Skylar Robinson comes out, ends up making that tackle.
Skyline got a big-looking defensive line down there, all except for the nose tackle.
That's right.
Nose tackle, little guy, but he's got those broad shoulders. You wanted a nose tackle, and obviously he's got some powerful legs because he's been plugging that hole pretty good all night. Blackfoot now going to take the second down, 2nd and 15. They're going to pass out a nice pass. It looks to be caught. Trying to see if that's King
they're
or
waving
Hale.
it off.
Nope, they waved it off. Oh, boy, that was King, and he stretched out.
You know, on a 2nd down and long, I do like that call, however. I like that play call. I think it gives them an opportunity to either pick up that 1st down. Sometimes you might want to go to the sticks a little bit. But this might be 4-down territory for Blackfoot anyway. You know, you're on the 30. It's not necessarily just 3 down and out.
You know what I liked about that play is Skyline kept with King.
That's
they
right.
were right there.
That's right.
I mean, he could have laid out and got it, but they stayed with him.
Well, and again, we talk about these teams. This is what they defend every day in practice. Yep. So even if you're a step slower than that receiver, as long as you understand and know the angles that they throw from, you can compensate for that. We see it in basketball all the time. You know, you get, like Larry Bird was a tremendous defender, but it wasn't because of speed. It's because he understood angles. You know, and if you do that, you gain a step.
Yeah, there's a reason why he was so good at taking the ball away on defense. Skyline holds, so you were right, Lance. We are in 4-down territory as Blackfoot is here on the 4th, and now I guess they set up in punt formation. I thought for sure they would go, but I guess 4th and 15 was too daunting. They're going to see if they can, I don't know, at this point, I'd try to coffin corner it, see if you can get them deep down by the goal line. They do a high kick. Skyline calls for a fair catch.
And it'll come back. Yeah.
It's going to bounce back. Good kick.
Yeah, that ended up being good. And to me, you know, that's dangerous. Now, it ended up working out good for Blackfoot, but that can be dangerous just in the sense that it ends up going in the end zone. You didn't gain a lot by having to come out to the 20, but down to the 10, that makes a difference.
And you see that a lot in high school ball, where it just comes out to the 20, and you thought, shoot, throw the pass. That's the line of the 1st down line.
That's right.
You got to pass. So it'll be the Grizzlies set up at the 10-yard line, their own 10, and going to see if they can get some offense as we are 0-0 here in the 2nd quarter at Ravston Stadium. Neither team able to just get it all together. They have some moments of good plays, penalties hindering them deeply. Snap is bobbled, and Hackey gets it off up the middle to the running back, but nothing
Tui
there.
Edwin, snapping the ball there, and it just happened to be one of those snaps that never got off the ground. It kind of worm burned all the way back there. and you know, the thing is, when you're talking about a game that's played in seconds and inches oftentimes, that extra second that it takes to get that ball off the ground and get it to where it needs to be is the difference between a lot of plays. You know, it just is not in your favor. And
it takes you out of your game, your mindset as a quarterback. You're like, I got to grab it. You're not looking at your receivers. You're not looking where you're supposed to be going. And another low snap, and it's going to cost. Hackey runs around, fumbles the ball. I think Blackfoot has got that.
Yeah, I think Blackfoot does too. In
They
fact,
do. Blackfoot
even if they find it tied up at the bottom of the pile.
waiting for an official. I didn't see him make the call, but it looks like they're going to leave the offense on the field.
It looks like it's going to be rain. If so, Hackey must have been able to get that and secure it under that pile because Blackfoot was to it first.
Oh, definitely. That was with the naked eye from the press box. You could tell that Blackfoot had that.
And Blackfoot, no players complained, so obviously it was outright that Hackey had it after he dove on it. But again, here he was a second behind because of the low snap, and it just turns the play into disaster.
Well, and he brought the ball down as he was running and hit his thigh.
Yeah.
That frustration could really be a problem if we keep having those. That snap a little better. Can hand it off for a run up the middle. Nice run, but got a lot of yardage to make up.
Yeah. Well, and what you end up doing in a play like that anyway, if he breaks past that initial line, their secondary's back a little bit farther, your backers are back a little bit farther because they're playing a little bend, don't break. They're going to give up something short pass-wise up the middle, in the middle, but not give up a deep play.
Yeah, Severio making that gain. Nice gain, but still leaves them with 4th and 8 in their own territory.
And really, Blackfoot did defensively what it was designed to do.
Yep. Yeah, no, they played that smart. You just make sure you don't give up the first down. That's the golden rule, and they don't. So Skyline now back. Sadiq's going to kick that away. Nice kick by Sadiq. He drops his return man back. Blackfoot's going to take that.
This is
That's
Ramirez.
Yeah. He's going to pick up probably – boy, look at that extra push.
Well, we talk about that low center of gravity. Sometimes you get the extra push because your teammates are helping you. He did that all by himself with 4 guys on him.
Yeah. You can just see the those legs have got to be monstrous to be able to get that.
And with Blackfoot, they don't list their height and weight like Skyline does. But I'm telling you right now, his height cannot be over 5'8", and his weight cannot be over 150.
But you know what?
And so
you want to measure his drive?
Solid.
It's totally there. So Blackfoot now gets exactly what they wanted. They kicked it deep in Skyline's territory. Skyline, 3 and out. And they now have the ball at just over the midfield line, and we're going to see if they can put it together as they've tried, but the penalty's just getting them. And this time it's going to be beautiful as Ramirez takes that ball around the left side. He's going to pick up about 13, 14 yards. Best play of the game so far.
I'll tell you a receiver that Skyline's going to have to keep their eye on right now is Capson. Court Capson, the junior wide receiver for Blackfoot. They're losing him just a little bit, and he's running a little bit of a slot position, and they've got to be careful because Blackfoot can get it over to him in the middle, I believe. And if you are Blackfoot, I think that's something you've got to aim for. Well,
you want to open up that field. We know we've got King who can receive. We know we've got Hale who can receive. Silverio, this is Ramirez on this handoff, and he's going to do it again. They have found the answer. Ramirez just off that guard tackle slot on the left side, picking up some good yardage every run.
Well, again, you got to remember this Blackfoot team. Both their losses are by 1 point. One of them came to Idaho Falls, 5-8, undefeated right now. In fact, really the shocker of Southeast Idaho. I don't think anybody had that on their radar.
No.
And they're 3-0 to start the season. And of course, they've got some big tests coming up as well because they got a tough conference with Highland, with Rigby, with Madison, but. Their other loss came to 5A Thunder Ridge. Now, Thunder Ridge, who I really thought had the potential to be the spoiler in the District 5-6 5A this year, they really got shellacked by Idaho Falls.
Yeah, they did.
And Idaho Falls kind of stepped up into that spot. I think right now that's really nailed down by Highland and Rigby. And it's on everybody else to step up and prove they can compete with those two types of teams, Highland with that big win over Alta out of Utah, 6A school to start the season. I was actually there for that game.
Oh, were you?
And
okay.
and then you have, I was there for the Rumble, so I ended up calling that game. And, of course, you had Rigby with that absolute shellacking woodshed beating over 5A.
Over a good
Skyview out of Logan.
Skyview.
A team that throttled Madison in the Rocky Mountain Review last year. Pardon me, not Madison, throttled Highland in the Rocky Mountain Review last year.
There you go. All right, they're going to set up. Now we got 7 minutes left. Still no score in this game, but Blackfoot picking up some seriously good yardage. They're going to hand off and come off the right side. That play didn't work out as well as the other two running plays. but that was Court Capson. So.
Well, and Trey Olson, he came up defensively, and he caught that corner, and then he stayed home. He didn't.
Did his job.
Yep, he just did his job. He didn't go for any fakes, anything. He stayed there and figured, well, if he jukes and he goes inside, I've got a teammate. If he goes outside, I got a teammate. So he took care of business.
That's why he makes the big bucks.
That's right. That's why he gets the extra hot dog at lunch.
Team meal. They give it to him at the team meal.
That's right. Look at the beautiful moon we got.
It's a beautiful night here, folks.
Bothers me because it makes for terrible fishing, Great during the middle of the night fishing, but
well, the time we get out of here, it'll be middle of the night. You can go fishing on the way home.
It makes for a beautiful football game, though.
All right, Blackfoot's going to make a completion out there. They'll pick up probably an extra 5 yards on that. Not enough for the first down.
No, threw it a little bit behind Hell. Hell had to come back a little bit to get it. Had he have hit him a little bit to the inside in stride, he might have been able to pick up that first. But it does have it does leave for a manageable third down.
It does. It does. That's third, and I'm going to say a long 4.
Yeah, we'll call that short 3, long 4. Or short 4, long 3.
Either one, you still got to get it. They're in Skyline territory. The ball's just about the 18-yard line, I think. No, the 14-yard line. And they're trying to make their voice heard after a couple of painful losses that we just referenced. Ramirez again gets the handoff and not going to get that first down. So now we're going to have a 4th and 2.
Well, and if under their system this is go for it range for Blackfoot, you've given yourself a very manageable 4th down, something that is potential. Now their kicking game, we'll see what happens, but it looks to me like they're going to go for it.
Well, it's not very often at the high school level you have somebody who can kick a 40-yard field goal.
Nope.
At least
not consistently.
Yeah.
You have a lot of people with the leg to do it, not a lot with the accuracy.
All right, this is going to be way close. I think Ramirez
is
short. I'm looking at that line, Judge, and he's going to be a yard short. It's going to be a turnover on downs, and we're back to the name of the game tonight. Turnover. 5 minutes left in the first half. No score, and really a lot of yardage and nothing across the goal line.
And it wouldn't have mattered which side Judge you went with. Both of them had it short.
Yeah.
And that was just a good defensive stop by a good Skyline defense.
Well,
and by the way, we'd like to welcome Matt Kelly to the team.
Hey, Matt. Welcome to the team.
IdahoSports.com. Matt's
running a camera tonight.
Student up at BYU, Idaho, where you happen to
work
as well.
I do, yeah.
I happen to live 3 miles from, and the difference between you and I is I'm able to grow this sexy beard that I have.
I'm not even touching that, friend. Skyline with the carry. They're going to try to take a page out of Blackfoot's book and punch it forward for a gain of about 4 or 5 yards. You got me all flustered, buddy. Stop it.
Anyone that's ever listened to Tim and I do a game together, we're just going to be giving each other garbage the entire game. So understand that neither one of us takes offense.
No.
We just have to one-up each other when it comes to getting each other back. So.
Well, here's the reality. We hope you're having fun, but I guarantee you we're having fun.
Oh, we
hope
always
the broadcast
have fun.
is for you too. All right, Skyline with 2nd and 5. They're going to see if they can get something going here. They need it. They came out on fire, and it's kind of been diminished. Hackey's going to keep that ball. He's going to push forward for probably a gain of 2.
And I don't think that play was called for Hackey to keep it. It was another bad snap. It was a high snap, and it had to be timed right with the cross route, and he was not able to hand that off. And something that Skyline is going to have to address at halftime is the snapping situation. Because I've watched him twice this year, and it has not been a problem like that.
Oh.
So the fact that it is a problem right now, this game, it's got to be addressed.
I did hear the radio show before we came, and they did say that they had a Skyline player break his leg in last week's game. I don't know who that was. Hope he's recovering well, but I wonder if that's affecting the
See, and I think the last play they were going to try to go to Silverio. He gets close to the first down marker, and they might even do a quick offense and get this off and get it up. If not, they're punting.
4th and 1. Do you go for it on your own 20?
I think if you would have had a hurry-up offense play in your bag right there, I think you go ahead and do that. If
especially
you're
with
go
a quarterback keeper.
But if not, this is a place especially in a game where it's tough to score, this isn't a place you can afford to give the ball up to a good Blackfoot team.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. And they wisely bring in their punting team as Sadiq back to punt now.
Yeah, certainly. And Sadiq's a very, very good punter. I mean, he's really a next-level punter as well.
Well, okay, Blackfoot's going to call a timeout. It makes you wonder what they're trying to set up because we've only got 3 minutes left in this half.
Lava Hot Springs is your destination for a relaxing day away from it all. Just 10 minutes from McCammon and I-15. They're open daily from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday, and they are happily welcoming visitors to sit and enjoy their world-famous hot pools. The all-natural geothermal hot springs are always a warm 102 to 112 degrees. Woo, 112 is hot.
I love
Their indoor aquatic center will open for the fall season beginning October 1st, Friday through Sunday, and offer kiddie splash time on Tuesdays and Wednesday mornings. Lava Hot Springs is taking extra precautions to ensure your safety at this time and ask patrons to be respectful of others as you come and soak all your worries away. Check out LavaHotSprings.com for more information. And as a bonus, if you go down there while Tim is there, you get to see a European Speedo. That's always one of those nice things
European
about
Speedo.
Down to Lava Hot Springs.
You see me in a Speedo, you're going to see whale hunters. But you know what? The next game we call Pocatello, that might be a good place to soak our tired bodies.
That's right.
This is tough on these old guys. All right, Sadiq's going to get the snap. A nice punt away. He is certainly one of the better punters here in southeast Idaho as you see that kick.
And considering that came from the 10-yard line where he kicked that at, I mean, really,
back to the 40, yeah.
That's pretty decent punt.
Yeah, I'll take that as a high school coach. I'll be tickled. I've watched. Told you I had a game last night. I watched a number of punts. Some of them only 20 yards.
Wow.
Yeah, you're just like, time there's a return on that. Why didn't you just turn over?
well, Sadiq had a punt in their first ball game this year against Green Canyon, the Rocky Mountain Rumble, that went 65 yards in the air.
65 in the air?
It was a perfect spiral, and it was an unbelievable punt.
Oh,
I mean, it was a high-level college punt, not just a good college punt. It was a high-level college punt.
All right, Blackfoot with the ball at the 41-yard line, trying to see if they can sneak it into the end zone with 3 minutes left in the half. No score on the play. The fake's going to go to Ramirez up the middle. He's caught. He's probably going to get a gain of 4. Not a bad gain because they threw him backwards once they caught him, but the forward momentum of that grab and pull, I think, is going to get him the 4 yards.
Yeah, and that was Moss on the tackle there. And you know, Moss is a big boy, 6'3", 240 pounds, the senior defensive lineman. But even, Ramirez continued to drag him just a little bit. And, again, that's all really, if you're getting 3 yards a pop, you're getting a first down. You're going on fourth, and you're getting a first down.
Tell you what, I'm a coach. I'll take 3-4 yards every
time,
especially when I'm pounding them.
Yeah,
you're trying to wear down that defense.
Yeah,
so.
you know what? It's like taking a layup in basketball. You'll take it every single time if they'll give you to it every time.
Wow, great pass out to King. Looks like he pulled that in. He just jumped up there, kind of caught it on the helmet of the defender.
And the defense was fantastic.
Absolutely.
It was great
you couldn't
defense.
defend that
It was
any
just better offense. And that's one of those, that you look at and you say, hey, there's a college-level catch right there. But you know what? There was also college-level defense on that play, which made that catch even that much more spectacular.
Coach Skyline's coach, Scott Berger, that's the exact thing he worried about in the pregame show. When I talked to him, he's like, I'm worried that kid's going to get just 3 or 4 of those big plays, and that's going to be a big contributor in this game. And it just showed us that it can be.
That's right. And Javonte King has very sticky fingers with that football. If it gets close to him, he's going to catch that ball.
Well, this is football designed the way a coach likes to see it. A couple of pound-em plays.
Yeah.
Get them looking at that ground, and then they open it up with Javonte making a heck of a catch. And now Skyline's trying to scratch their head and say, who do we watch?
Well, but not only that, but it's also designed around the talent that you have. They really take advantage of that talent that they have.
All right, Blackfoot now with a 2nd and 6. Going to take the snap. Grimmett's looking. So far showed great poise as a quarterback, and he's going to pull that ball in, and he's going to pick up the first. And that might not matter as a flag comes flying in at the end of that game. Grimmett steps out of bounds after a gain of about 16. We're going to see what that flag is.
And I'm not sure on this because I saw a potential hold. I also saw a potential face mask. And I'm not sure what this call is going to be.
It seemed like moving forward.
Back, and it just
it's kind of like my investment portfolio.
Hey, I gave $1, but I got 2 quarters.
Exactly.
And 2's more than 1.
It's a magic trick.
The old poem, the old poem from when we were kids.
All right, Blackfoot now smarting from a great play that just didn't go well. They're going to try some trickery. Didn't work. They're going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. I think it was a great idea, but Skyline read it all the way.
Well, and this now on a third down, you've got to figure they're going to be going for the sticks, although this is probably 2-down territory for them. But I think this is where you're going to see King come up in this. I think they're going to try to target King. They're going to try to get him in single coverage and go to the sideline.
Well, I think it's a great time to go to the sidelines. You're right, but let's not overlook that middle area.
Yeah.
If they fake to
well,
King,
and that's where Capson comes in and is a part of this.
I absolutely agree.
He's not in the lineup this play.
So look for perhaps.
We do have an eligible tight end though.
Yep, they're going back deep. And they're looking at the sideline, and it's going to be Hale with the catch. But is he inbounds? They call it. Hale pulls that in, held it against his face mask.
Yeah, he did.
And went down.
This is one of those in the college and pro game where you have where you have instant replay. You're going to do a replay here and see, did he really have control of it? We saw he caught it, but did he have control of it when he went out of bounds? In high school, you don't have that.
It doesn't matter.
It's called in bounds, so it doesn't matter.
Blackfoot's going to take that. I'm not sure why they called the timeout. I guess they're going to call a couple of quick plays out of your playbook.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lance.
Conquest Insurance Agency has been servicing your insurance needs for years. They are built on the principles of providing superior customer service and quality insurance solutions for their customers. As an independent agent, they work with select insurance companies that have proven their performance over the years. Conquest Insurance Agency is dedicated to getting you the best insurance products and services available today to protect you, your family, and your business. Located at 144 West Bridge in Blackfoot, or you can simply call them at 208-785-0760. They're proud supporters of the Blackfoot Broncos.
Yeah, Lance, I didn't look at the clock. Now I know why they called the timeout. 23 seconds on the clock till
that's
halftime.
Right. That's right.
So with the ball at the 6, they went over and they planned the next 3 plays.
Well, and the thing is you consider, too, as many penalty flags as there's been, you'd think there'd be 5-6 minutes left on the clock, but there's also been a lot of run plays, too, and those tend to draw time off.
Well, and time flies when we're having fun. It's almost 8 o'clock.
It does.
All right, Blackfoot's going to see if they can punch it in with 23 seconds left. They line up. Grimmett's going to drop back into the shotgun. He'll take that snap, and I think we're going to look for maybe Hale on it's not Hale. It's going to be King looking at that catch. He makes the catch, and it's a touchdown. Well, there you go. It didn't take them 23 seconds. It took them 6. And they get the score. And really the momentum as we now go into halftime, Blackfoot having scored and Skyline just struggling to get their offensive momentum going.
Well, those are the kind of things that swing and going into halftime.
King just hitting that prophecy from Coach Berger, and that is a good kick. That's Tyler Vance with a kick, and it's 7-zip. Broncos right now. Skyline's going to have 17 seconds, but that's not enough time to do anything unless they call a fair catch.
Yeah, or run it back,
And
but it's tough.
Sadiq could do that.
Yeah.
That's true. Don't see it very often, so I guess I'm a little skeptical. But Lance here volunteering to put the pads on and show him how it's done.
That's right. Sometimes you just got to throw the pads on and say, dudes, follow me, boys. Follow me right to the hospital with my broke back, my broke knee.
You beat me to it, Lance. Huh?
Everything else that went injured on the play. Hey, if I'm going in, I'm going all in.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't even take a hit at my age to probably
just
hurt something.
Just the threat of a hit.
That guy's big. Never mind. Up here in the booth, folks, they all look like they're just average height. But you get down on the field and you start looking up to some of these young men saying, wow.
They're big kids. We got some big kids down here on the field.
Yeah, Skyline's number 90 down here, right? Mm-hmm. Look at his size.
Keegan Moss, 6'3", 240.
I would call him sir all day long.
That's tight end size for college right there.
Yeah, that's true. You need to have somebody that big. In fact, you want him 6'5", don't you?
Yeah. Between 6'4" and 6'6" is what you see a lot of.
Oh, nice snag, and they do. They just go right down as Skyline with a snag at the 36.
Well, I think you take a couple pops deep here. You're going to go to Sadiq at least one of those times.
You have to.
See what you can come up with.
But, they've got a couple of kids. I'm looking for him on the roster here. The Taggart kid he's carried a couple of times out of the backfield. But Cade Taggart, he's really one of the up-and-coming kids. I think we're going to see some good stuff from him. He's a junior, but I've watched him play in grid kid in basketball over the last couple of years, and he's got some abilities. I think he's one of those that you could look as an offset.
He does, and so they soften up the middle a little bit, and then they're going to go ahead and use one of those timeouts that they have as well.
11 seconds left.
Sputnik is an international company meeting the needs of potato growers in both field and storage equipment across the globe. Sputnik's customer-focused commitment to the potato industry has allowed them to grow and invest millions of dollars in research and development in manufacturing methods and potato equipment technology. This investment continues to put Sputnik on the cutting edge of machinery development and as a partner with potato growers to feed the world. Their corporate headquarters are located right in Blackfoot, Idaho, and Sputnik is proud to support the local high schools and their student athletes. We got a lot of good sponsors tonight.
Yeah, you know what the great thing about these two programs is, one, Blackfoot kind of owns the town of Blackfoot. They're one school
That's
town,
right.
if you will. I mean, there's Snake River out there, but that's the kind of the country kids. And Skyline just owns this side of the west side of town.
That's right.
Two well-supported teams. We appreciate those sponsors. Skyline with a nice pass out to Sadiq. He's not going to make it to the sidelines, though. He does pick up the first down.
Yeah, they are going to call a timeout, I believe. I
Well,
think they have one more left. Maybe not.
5.4 seconds left. They're not rushing to the line.
Yeah,
so it's
it's
absolutely a timeout.
Thompson, Holman, Weiler has served East Idaho for over 25 years. The law firm offers extensive experience in a wide range of legal services and represents a broad range of clients, from local individuals to international corporations. They realize how important a client's case is to them individually, so they strive to give each case the attention it would receive if the client was handling it themselves. No matter the size, if you need an attorney, call Michael White at Thompson, Holman, and Weiler today at 208-522-1230, or simply visit them online at thwlaw.com. That's thwlaw.com. Thompson, Holman, Weiler is proud to support Skyline football and wishes the Grizzlies good luck in tonight's game.
All right, folks, we've got 5.4 seconds left. One shot downfield for the Grizz as they're going to go for all the marbles on this shot. You know it. As Hackey's back, he's looking, and they collapse the pocket on him. There's going to be nothing there. Blackfoot with the great sack. He's going to lose 9 on that play. Trying to see who the sack was. That's Trayden Henderson. Trayden's the, I guess, my relative. Surprise there, right?
There you go. Well, that's why he's so good.
That's right. He takes after his cousin.
That's right. That's right.
He's the son of my cousin.
It's fifth generation back, but hey, I mean, it's fifth cousin.
When you're in Southeast Idaho, nothing surprises you, right?
That's right.
All right, folks, that brings us to halftime. And at the half, it's Blackfoot 7, Skyline 0, in what has been really a one-drive game. Everything else is stalled out due to penalties, and we're going to see some exciting things. It is homecoming here at Skyline. You see Skyline lining up to bring their royalty out, and so we're probably going to have an extra few minutes. We're going to fade away to some of we'll first recognize some of our sponsors, and then we'll fade away for a commercial break.
Rockwell Homes in Idaho Falls is Southeast Idaho's #1 home builder. By using local subcontractors and upholding the highest quality standards, Rockwell Homes strives to exceed your expectations to create a unique and innovative home tailored to your needs and lifestyle. Are you ready to start building your dream home? Well, Rockwell Homes help design the perfect place for you and your family to call home. To see available homes, floor plans, and other great information, go online to rockwellhomes.net. The Johnson family and everyone at Rockwell Homes are proud of the local student athletes and want to wish them the best luck in tonight's game. Conan Heating and Air Conditioning is your Lennox premier dealer in Idaho Falls. Conan Heating and Air Conditioning has been providing superior HVAC service in the Idaho Falls area since 1946. Back in your days, Tim.
Yeah,
that's
really.
75 years with highly qualified and
Little before
experienced
me,
technicians.
just a little.
No job is too big or small for all of your furnace repair needs in Idaho Falls. Trust the job to Conan Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit them online for more information at conanheating.com. That's CONAN heating.com. And age-wise, I'm just almost right there with Tim as well, so that dates us a little bit.
We're both just well experienced. That's nothing age-related. But we'll drop away. We'll have a commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about the first half and the exciting lives of all three of us here in the press box.
It's time to start planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process, is readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
We're a Valleywide Country Store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Scott here from Teton Honda in Pocatello. Our dealership operates on a no-problem philosophy that's designed to put you in charge of your next vehicle purchase. Prefer to shop online? No problem. Evenings or weekends? No problem. Need a wide range of financing and leasing options? No problem. So whether it's one of our beautiful new Hondas or just a vehicle that's new to you, at Teton Honda, we'll help you find the perfect vehicle for your needs. Experience car buying like never before at Pocatello's only No Problem dealership.
planning for back to school. That's why I got my kids vaccinated for COVID-19, so they can be protected from COVID when they're back in the classroom. Kids 12 and older can get vaccinated. The vaccines have been researched and tested. They're safe and they work. Getting vaccinated was quick and easy. You can walk into a pharmacy to get one. We got our COVID-19 vaccine, and I hope everyone will choose to get vaccinated too.
Get a free COVID-19 vaccine today. Find a location near you at covidvaccine.idaho.gov.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
At Valleywide Cooperative, we're here when you need us. For 100 years, we have been here to help you with food, fuel, and good old-fashioned advice. And for us, serving is more than a job, it's a way of life, which is why we pour so much into the communities around us. We've employed hundreds of your neighbors. We take pride in that, and in giving back millions in sponsorships, grants, donations, and scholarships. It's our way of saying thanks. We're Valleywide, and yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Ads like this keep popping up, but I see through the hype because those vape clouds people claim are just water vapor contain as many as 31 different chemicals, like formaldehyde, the stuff they preserve dead bodies with. And while the flavors sound all harmless, we still have no idea what these ingredients could be doing to our bodies. But I already see vaping for exactly what it is. Get the real facts at BehindTheHaze.com.
I decided to get vaccinated because I wanted to protect myself and my family and my customers from COVID-19. When I went to get my COVID-19 vaccine, it was an easy process. It's readily available. Since I got vaccinated, I'm confident I'm protected against the COVID-19 virus. My life has returned to business as usual.
We're a Valleywide Country Store. For 100 years, we've been your #1 choice for food, fuel, farm supplies, and just about everything else you could need to get you through your day. We know you work until the job is done, and so do we. For gas on the go, or a little extra to help you get down the road, you can count on us. We are proud to employ your neighbors and to be a cornerstone of your community. We're Valleywide. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we're here for you.
Scott here from Teton Honda in Pocatello. Our dealership operates on a no-problem philosophy that's designed to put you in charge of your next vehicle purchase. Prefer to shop online? No problem. Evenings or weekends? No problem. Need a wide range of financing and leasing options? No problem. So whether it's one of our beautiful new Hondas or just a vehicle that's new to you, at Teton Honda, we'll help you find the perfect vehicle for your needs. Experience car buying like never before at Pocatello's only No Problem dealership.
Welcome back to Ralston Stadium, where we're at halftime as the Blackfoot Broncos leading the Skyline Grizzlies in really an interesting game. We expected it to be competitive, but there's been a lot of game played between the 30s.
Yeah, there has.
Back to 30, back and forth, and Blackfoot able to punch it in just before halftime in the only score of the game, unless you're counting turnovers, which are still 1-1 each. But if we count penalties, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
Both teams just seeing those Hankies fly in, negating some great plays. A couple of times 25-yard gains that come back, and then they tack 10 on the other way. And that's discouraging.
Well, and when you look at the difference, is the King touchdown, with 17 seconds left on the clock. But, for Skyline, there's another factor going on, too. Skyline's, they're a second behind getting their plays going most times because the snaps have just not been there. They've either been at the ankles or they've been high, and it kind of gets you out of flow, gets you at a distance. And Blackfoot, again, we talked about them having more questions than answers coming into this game. They don't show up in either of the rankings. They don't show up in the media polls. In the media polls, they're not on there. In fact, Pocatello's #1 in the media polls, with Skyline #2, then Minico, Sandpoint, Shelley. And in the coaches' polls, Skyline's #1. Emmett, who doesn't show up in the media polls, which surprised me because they shut Bishop Kelly out out last week.
And Bishop Kelly's a powerhouse,
Yeah,
always.
yeah, always. But anyway, Skyline, Emmett, Pocatello, Minico, and Sandpoint for the coaches polls. So you find Blackfoot nowhere. Well, if Blackfoot picks up to win tonight, that's certainly going to change. And I don't think that would necessarily drop Skyline out of the top 5, but I think it would definitely catapult Blackfoot up into one of those top 2 spots.
Well, and I referenced this earlier in the broadcast. I think this is the game of the conference for who's going to be going to the playoffs, because these are the 2 teams that have a history of championships, state titles for both of them in the recent years. Last year, Skyline being the 4A state champion, but Blackfoot showing that they don't care.
yeah. Well, and the thing is Blackfoot wasn't really listed on a lot of people's radars coming into this year as much as they have been in other years. And I think if you look at it, the conference as a whole is doing pretty well. Preston has started out fairly well. Shelley is 3-0, and again, Shelley's one of those teams I've watched them play. And they're one of those teams that I don't believe they're on the level of a Blackfoot or a Skyline. But let me tell you what they are good enough for. If Blackfoot or Skyline doesn't show up to play some particular night, to play their best, Shelley has enough talent to step up and knock a team off on a night like that. So you've got to be careful of that. Both of these teams are on the road next week. You got Blackfoot at Preston. You got Skyline. Obviously, it's still right here in the Valley, but it's at Bonneville next week. And so both these teams have to go on the road, and these should be games that they should be able to pick up wins.
Absolutely.
On this road, but one of them is going to leave tonight with a loss, and with that, one of these teams is going to leave here 1-3 tonight.
Well, which is unheard of for either of these teams.
And
the programs that they've had,
especially as good as they are, because this could be. I mean, these are teams that are good enough to play in the state championship game.
Yes.
And maybe even at 5A in the state championship game. Now, obviously, you'd put
Skyline has.
You'd put Rigby, the number 1, obviously, which they are. But I think Skyline could compete with. Especially when you see how well they played against Rigby last week. They could compete, very well, if not beat, a Coeur d'Alene, a Rocky Mountain team like that, as well. And now Blackfoot's proven what they can do too. And Blackfoot, one of the things that Skyline's got to address here at the half, they have got to find a way to stop Blackfoot from getting into the backfield. Because Blackfoot is consistently putting pressure on Hackey and making it difficult on Hackey to
he hasn't had any throwing time
to get the ball off, and it's everyone looks fantastic when you got 5, 6, 7 seconds back there, to be able to throw it. And Hackey's a good quarterback.
He is.
But when you're picking yourself up off the ground half the time and running for your life the other half, it's tough. And if you're Blackfoot, you got to continue that. You got to look and say, guys, we're not changing much other than just little house cleaning things. We're not changing much going into the second half. We're going to make Skyline prove that they've adjusted and can handle our defensive pressure.
Well, and that's going to be the answer. And of course, Scott Bergers, he's had a program here. He's been in this Skyline program for over 20 years. 13 as the head coach.
Well, they've won 3 state championships since coming to the 4A level.
Yeah, and here's what I know. He knows how to make adjustments. And you made the call. They got to clean up that snap from center to the quarterback. I'm sure that was the very first thing on his little chat with the team.
Well, you're a full second behind. Yeah. And a second is, you figure how much ground a defender can cover in 1 second. That's huge.
Well, and then the O-line coach calls the O-line over and says, guys, those boys are killing your quarterback. That's your job.
That's right.
And if he gets taken down in the backfield again,
Yeah.
Guess what practice is going to be like on Monday?
Because it's not like that it's only been the snap. The snap's something you got to address, but it's not like it's only been because of the snaps. I mean, they've been coming in. The defensive ends have been getting in, on the sides and stuff. They've been blowing past players, and you've got to be able to keep them out of the backfield unless your scheme is to maybe run a number of screen passes, and maybe
that's what they should do. They haven't done that.
Is run some screen passes if teams keep getting in.
Keep them a little more honest.
If anything, it might just slow down the approach of the defense to come into you.
Yeah, those last couple of plays just before half, you saw Blackfoot just blitzing. It was almost like they weren't worried. Their corners were back in prevent, if you will, and they were going to make sure that Hackey didn't have any time. And they did, so it worked well for them.
And the blitzing was fantastic, but the truth is, throughout the first half, even without blitzes, their linemen were getting in. Those DNs were getting in constantly. So that's something that really Skyline has to address at the half. Both teams have to address turnovers, and they have to address penalties. because that could really cause the outcome of the game.
Yeah, and in fact, given the amount of penalties we have, and I haven't kept track, but I think it's been close to 6 or 7 each team. And that's almost, you pile them up because many of them are 15-yarders, almost 100 yards in penalties.
That's right.
And there's no coach that likes to hear that.
And with the turnovers that have taken place, I mean, my prediction for the second half is the team with the least amount of turnovers in the second half wins this ball game.
You remind me of my high school basketball coach. We were getting our tails handed to us, and at halftime he walked in and he drew a picture of a basketball hoop and then a picture of a basketball. And he says, gentlemen, the purpose of this game is to get the basketball in the hoop. And he laid down the chalk and he walked back out. I was like, what the?
That's right.
He said, apparently we didn't know the basics.
You know what? You talk about defense winning championships, and it does. Defense is great. It helps win championships and stuff. But at the end of the day, the ball has to go in the hole. You can play the best defense in the world, but if you don't put the ball in the hole, you're not going to win a ball game. You still have to put the ball in the hole.
And that's what we've seen on the field tonight. Skyline has not played horribly. They have actually had some moments of great offense. They haven't been able to get it in the end zone, and Blackfoot got it in on that one punch.
Yeah, and it was a tough play. I mean, to get it in. Well-defended play.
King showing his talents. Now Skyline going to kick off, and it's going to look like it's probably going to go into the end zone. It does. And so Blackfoot will bring it out to the 20, and they get a chance. If you're Blackfoot's coach, you absolutely know that he's saying, boys, no matter what, we got to punch it in. We need to come out of this drive 14-0, because that takes the wind out of the Skyline players, that the momentum they maybe picked up when Coach kind of revved them up at halftime, talked to them about their changes. So it's going to be interesting to see if they come out and if they run it, because they've had some success with Ramirez off that left tackle, or if they're going to try to bomb it out.
Well, and anytime you get a team in the hole, you end up changing their game plan.
Yes.
That changes game plans. Teams have a scheme that come in, and of course, you have things designed for if you get down, but you try to stick to your scheme, and that's what everybody plans on. And if you get down in any given game, it's awfully tough.
Well, you just start losing.
Yeah, that's
the game
right.
plan's gone out the window. You start taking chances, and anytime you take chance, that's always a nightmare if that doesn't work. When it does work, it's gives you all the momentum in the world. Grimmett kept that on a quarterback keeper, and he picked up about 4 yards. Haven't seen that yet.
No.
So that was interesting to see Grimmett keep it. He's going to have that quick pass over the middle. Great look as he tried to connect with Hale, and now a flag. We're going to get another flag. It's going to be a PI.
With Grimmett keeping that ball, what that tells you is they're doing that in anticipation of a certain type of adjustment that Skyline would make at halftime.
I'm wondering, I don't think I've seen this many pass interference calls in a game, let alone a half.
But you have to figure you've got 2 premier receivers in the state of Idaho right here, and teams are going to play them extra tight. And in order to make that work, you've got to you've got to take those risks.
Well, absolutely the case, and it works because they didn't get the catch, but they got the PI. Actually, a better gain than they would have had with the catch.
That's right.
As they put the ball down.
That's right.
Looks like that's the 30, isn't it? Yeah, right. Just shy of the 30, a first down.
Yeah, the lines aren't super dark tonight.
Yeah, I just was sitting here wondering why they didn't repaint them, because they're not easily visible. Skyline well defended on that play.
Yeah,
I'm counting 5 linemen with that.
And that's really how you stop Ramirez. We talked about Ramirez being able to kind of hit those gaps. He's quick. He's got that low center of gravity. Well, how do you defend a guy like that? If you have 4 or 5 guys in that general area, it's not even the gang tackle. It's just lessening down the routes that he can run in.
Well, and if somebody misses a tackle, you got somebody else to back it up. And at high school level, that happens a lot.
It
Kids
does.
Miss a tackle. They dive when they should have just chopped and hit. But that sets up a 2nd and 10 for the Broncos. Jackson's still out of the shotgun. He's going to try and air it out.
Yeah, we're going to have a hold in the backfield.
Yeah, we saw that one. Skyline brings him down. But, Johnny Basic. That's the AD for Skylines. boy,
Yeah.
Johnny Basic.
And you know what's interesting? He's a defensive lineman at only 195 pounds. Very small defensive lineman. They typically play in an end if you're gonna have to do that. But at the high school level, you play where a player is most effective, not necessarily based upon their size. It's whether they're most effective. And he was able to get in and close that gap quick.
So I got a cousin, that plays for Blackfoot, Johnny Basic, longtime friend. I was there when he was born. So I had connections to both teams. We want them both to succeed. Johnny had a great stop on that. All right, Blackfoot now facing the 3rd and 15, maybe 14, excuse me. And they're going to have to air it out. It's going to see if they're going to try and pick up the PI or the yardage on this one. Screen. You talked about the screens.
Yeah, but we talked about it in a scenario of Skyline running that screen pass, and now and see again. I think this is one of those plays that Blackfoot is running in anticipation of certain adjustments that Skyline was going to make coming out in the
3rd and
second
15. They thought they were bringing the house. And,
that's right.
They did, and well played, well executed. Gain of 20, and you needed 15. So. You're Blackfoot. You are smiling right now. Coaching staff, just in their 2nd year, as Coach Buck retired.
That's right.
A little over a year and a half ago.
After a long stint down at Blackfoot.
And titles down
That's
at Blackfoot.
Right.
So they're making some good adjustments. We're seeing a Blackfoot team that's looking pretty good here.
Yeah, misdirection, reverse handoff, and I'll tell you, it went absolutely nowhere. As Capson just had nowhere to go.
Yeah, they're really lucky because Skyline was in the backfield. That was Moz back there. He missed his tackle, but he had the slant and could have had them for a loss of 5.
When you look at some of these key players that come back next year for both these teams, you get Hackey back for Skyline, you get Sadiq back for Skyline, you get King back for Blackfoot, you get Hell back for Blackfoot. These two teams are going to be neck and neck.
Yeah, this is not the only time we're going to be calling these names. I can guarantee you. Their quarterback Grimmett, yeah. He's back. They've got a couple of younger teams that both have athleticism. Hale's going to make the catch from Grimmett. Great. Did you see that screen block? He used his other receiver.
It was. In fact, I'll tell you what. Number 22, Jake Murdoch, was there. The defense was so good that the only way that pass could get there was if it was 100% perfect on, and it was.
And it was, yeah.
Because it was defended very well by Murdoch, but he found himself, chasing because the play was or the pass was so good.
And that's got to be a frustrating thing for Skyline because they have shown good defense.
That's right.
The passes, they're playing them tight enough that they keep getting a PI call.
Well, and it's obvious that Blackfoot's had a good game plan coming into this as well. A lot of it comes down to scouting, as we're going to get an encroachment penalty.
Boy, we are just. I'm at a loss for words. I've never seen this many penalties on 2 really good caliber teams.
Well, and in this drive alone, Blackfoot's got 2 first downs off of penalties.
Yep. That gave them the first down. They had
That's right.
Had 3 yards to the first down, and they just picked up the 5 in the first.
Right. Well, and Tim, you and I talked about it at the half that something both these teams had to address at halftime was the turnovers and the penalties.
Doesn't look like Skyline's done that yet.
Yeah. So far, the advantage goes to Blackfoot on that. Now we'll see when they get on their first defensive possession as well. But so far, they don't have an offensive penalty this time.
Well, and Blackfoot's doing what I said that the coach wanted him to do.
Yeah.
Pound it, and let's get that score.
I will have to say Blackfoot got away with a false start right there on one of their linemen. But
I missed it. I was watching the backfield. That tackle by Skyline, boy.
That was a deke leader.
Ramirez with the carry for Blackfoot. He picks up about 6 yards, but that tackle just turned Ramirez head over.
Ramirez just a junior. He'll be back next year. Capson, receiver, just a junior. He'll be back. Talk about Gibbett, junior. King, junior.
They're going to look for a deep pass here. They're going to get it off. Thankfully, there was a receiver within 5 yards.
Yeah,
so
they didn't have a receiver in the area. I think that was Luke Moore. That was actually in the area. He was a little deeper, obviously, than the pass, but he was there and saved an intentional grounding and loss of down.
Yeah, Blackfoot's lucky, really lucky, because we all know what that intent was.
Yeah, well, and the pursuit in the backfield was very good.
Yes. Yeah, Skyline getting in the backfield, which is something they didn't do a lot of in the first half, so that's a good adjustment that they've made. But we are sitting at a 3rd and long 3 here for Blackfoot to pick up the first down and Skyline to stop them because they haven't on this drive. They've stopped themselves with the penalties.
They have an eligible tight end here.
Got him. Boy, Skyline in the backfield almost as quickly as the handoff. And they're going to stop that play. I'm trying to see, is that a loss of 1?
Yeah, I think so. And on the play, it ended up being, I think that was Chandler Robinson that came in and got the.
Chandler's a good athlete. That
got the. Now you notice Ramirez had started to go down too, so it made it even worse because he was already slipping, and it was just a clobber. But this is go for it range.
Well, Robinson hit him at the pads too.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
So he kept him
right
up
down.
and just took him down. You're right. It's a 4th and probably 5 at this point. Blackfoot saying, bag it. We've been owning this drive. We're going to keep going. They're going to go with a quick pass. Oh, I'm not sure what the call is. The pass
They're
was
saying no good. The back judge is calling it no good.
I was watching the line judge, and he was standing there and all of a sudden waved it off. So
now, that's not a traditional turnover, but it still goes as a turnover because it's a turnover on downs.
Well, your defense is going to take that.
Yep.
Every time you're going to say, good job, guys. We got the ball back, and that's the name of the game without a score.
That's right.
And in not bad field position. Or they're going to set it, at the 29-yard line.
So, despite all the penalties that really hurt Skyline on that drive, they
came out okay.
They came out okay.
Yeah, the score 7-0. Broncos over the Grizzlies at this point.
Well,
6 minutes left in the
another
third.
Snap right down at the ankles.
But boy, they came out of it. They're going to get the first down. Let's just see that running back. Is that Sadiq?
That's Abram Silverio.
Silverio. Wow, that is a first down that they desperately needed.
They did.
First drive of the play, come around that just off tackle. And I'm trying to count the yardage. Picked up about 12 yards. First down, that's probably more important than the yardage.
Yeah.
A little bit of moral victory there.
And they have a safety hanging heavy to the right side of the field to help out with Sadiq. So it's going to be a little tougher to get Sadiq. So what they're going to try to do now is run a couple plays up the middle, kind of suck those players back in a little bit, see if they can get Sadiq on an island.
Yeah. That was a wildcat snap.
Yeah.
Picked up 3 yards. That's good. Follow your game plan. Take some runs up the middle.
I believe that was George Price that ended up running that.
Was it? I was thinking it was Vance.
It might have been Vance.
This far away, the old man dies. That's why I have binoculars, but I haven't been using them.
That's right.
Hackey's back in at quarterback, looks like. They're going to hand off. They're going to go off tackle. Look at that. The same play that worked for him last time. Same runner. He's going to go. He's almost in. Is he going to get the TD? He does not.
He just got knocked out. What looked like he stepped out. Well, I think what happened, he ended up stepping out, I think, on the 9.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he finally got knocked out on the 2 or 3 yard line.
Oh, I thought that was the 5 yard line. You're right.
But he stepped out on the 9.
Wow. That's one you wanted him to score because
what a fantastic run
of the play
by the junior Silverio, another player that returns next year for his team.
Well, it's going to be interesting. Skyline punches it in here. That's going to put Blackfoot a little bit back on their heels and a tied game. So be interesting to see if they can take that momentum. And, whoa, that is not going to work for the Grizz. He might have got back to the line of scrimmage, but, boy, he's lucky he did because they had 3 Blackfoot players in the backfield. And he kind of spun and pivoted. And the kid's got great dance moves. I hope he's got a date to homecoming.
For sure.
Skyline in their homecoming tonight, trying to get on the board, 2nd and goal from the 10. They really need an answer here with 5 minutes left in the third quarter.
Such a prolific offensive team and are yet to put a score up on the board tonight.
Kind of interesting here to see that they're going with the bare backfield. I kind of thought that the running play has got him here. Hackey connects to Sadiq. Sadiq's going to be out at the 2 yard line.
Boy, it looked like Sadiq got the pylon, but apparently not.
I thought he did, but the official, this line judge,
we're
said
going to call it out on the 1 yard line. Brings up a 3rd and goal.
Well, okay, Coach Taylor. Quarterback keep, or did he just punch it through with a running back?
I think one of the places that you've proven, particularly with Silverio in the second half, is you can hit the side gaps. You can either hit a B or C gap, or you can or you can hit an edge on that. And I think that's one place that Skyline is realizing they've got a little bit of an advantage on. But you are 1 yard out. That's kind of maybe the time you bring in a fullback that doesn't get as much playing time, that's 260 pounds, and let him crush it in. But
it'd be interesting if Hackey went up under center.
It's going to be direct snap, Sadiq.
He is. You're right. He's going to get in. I think he's going to get in. I'm waiting for the call. They do not get in. The officials calling it a down ball prior to going across the line.
Wow. It had to have been his knee that touched. And, of course, no instant replay in high school football.
We really need one because they're marking that 4th and a nose.
Yeah. Literally, now, this is where we might see Hackey, come in. Or, this is just something I think you're better off up under center.
I agree. I don't know why you wouldn't at this point.
I do not like the shotgun from
They're
here.
going to go out of the shotgun again. I don't get this one. I'm not the coach, but they're going to take it and they're going to push it forward. He is not in. Oh, he did get in. He crossed the plane. Touchdown, Skyline. I was almost 100% sure that he did not get in.
Yeah, well, the one judge, he wasn't waving it off, but he wasn't
Well, the one
motioning
judge
any
put his
touchdown.
only one arm up.
Yeah, yep. And then the near judge finally gave it.
That's
and it was near this hatch mark on this side, so he gets the final say on that. But
I tell you what, that's the kind of football that gives an old man heart trouble.
That is. Well, just imagine the parents.
Yeah, they're young. They can do that.
That's right.
All right, Skyline's going to come out. You think they'll go for 2 or are they going to kick? Because it looked like Hackey was coming out, and now he's coming back out of the game.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to kick, yeah. I think this is a smart thing to do. Both these teams have always had traditionally strong kicking games. We're going to get a time. And these are one of the things that those are decisions that are made before a game. Those are decisions that are made in practice. You hate to blow a timeout for those kind of things.
We're going to take just a minute and recognize our power boosters. The power boosters tonight's game for Skyline, Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute, Conan Heating and Air, all things automotive, Rockwell Homes, and MVP Rentals. And for the Broncos, it's Blaine Robbins Electric, Teton Auto Group, 21st Century Auto Sales, Conquest Insurance, and Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute. We still got some time here, so we're going to just quickly recognize Lava Hot Springs. They're your destination for a relaxing day away from it all. Just 10 minutes from McCammon and I-15. They're open daily from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m., 11 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. They're happily welcoming visitors to sit and enjoy their world-famous hot pools. The all-natural geothermal hot springs are always a welcoming 102 to 112. And the Grizzlies get the PAT. Folks, we've got a matchup. Tied 7-7. I didn't check the time, but I think we've got about 5 minutes left in the quarter. And it's now anybody's game. Doesn't matter what happened, who had the penalties, who had the turnovers. It's tied up again.
Yeah, it's as if you're starting over with, a quarter and a half left on the clock. So here I am, a Malad Dragon, sandwiched in between a couple of Snake River Panthers.
Well, the Panthers didn't fare too well against the Broncos last week, so we're licking our wounds a little bit.
And they got shut out the week before by a 2A team in Westside, and then Westside turned around and shut out a pretty dang good Marsh Valley team.
Did they really? Ooh.
Last week. So it's Westside's a team that looks like they could compete very well at the 3A division.
Kind of like seeing Westside. Got to be honest.
Yeah.
I like seeing them have that success. I don't like seeing them, with success against the Panthers, but it's been a long time since I was there. But Matt, you like what? Graduated last year?
It's been a few years.
Just a couple. All right, Skyline's going to kick it off now. And Blackfoot's looks like they're probably just going to let it go into the end zone. They'll bring it back out to the 20.
This is a rule that I'm still a little bit 50-50 on. I understand the safety aspect of if it goes in the end zone, it automatically comes out now, whether the player catches it or not. It comes out to the 20. And I know, it avoids some high impact injuries and things. The place where I think it hurts the game a little bit too, the opposing side of that, is that it takes some of your fantastic athletes out of the game.
Yep.
Players that have that potential to possibly break a play and run it back, all the way. And so there's give and take because we want safety. There's no question about it. But I think that is truly a rule that also hurts some of your really good athletes.
Rigby really having no contest against Hillcrest tonight.
No, and Hillcrest hasn't put up much of a threat at all.
Yeah, they're adjusting to a change in coaching there, and a little bit of a tough.
They are, and really they're slated that they could have a fantastic basketball team this year, potentially competing.
Absolutely.
You know, I mean, good enough to compete to
Ramirez
for
is
possibly a
down
state
on that
championship.
play. Official timeout as they start looking at his leg. That is not a good thing for Blackfoot.
No, although it might be. I thought initially it might be a cramp, but they're holding it up above the knee. They're raising it.
I hate to see that. He's just been a great athlete tonight, been the backbone of the running.
Yeah, and he just got up and he's walking off. He's going to be okay. You know, this is the thing, and this is kind of the difference between nowadays and when you and I were kids. You know, a player when you and I were kids that, you know, players just pop up after that. Oftentimes, where now the player is taught to, you know what, if you feel it, you're not quite sure, just stay down. We'll come out and see it because, you know, they take a lot of injury potential into account. You know, and you know, back when we were kids, it was more of a thing of how many, you know, you hold up 2 fingers, how many do you see? 3? Well, that's close enough. Go back out there, you know, and it's different nowadays.
Yeah, no, my coach used to say, you're not bleeding enough for a tourniquet, so get up, man up, and play.
That's right.
Matt, you know what that's like, right?
And I'm not saying one's right or one's wrong. I'm just saying that they do take injuries a lot more seriously now. So if a player is feeling something, they're going to make sure that they
take him out of the game for one play. It's worth it to just examine him, give everybody a breather. Blackfoot take the snap. They're going to go for that long pass to King. He's open, and he makes the catch at midfield. They're going to push him out of bounds, probably about the 45-yard line, 44-yard line.
Yeah, the senior DB Cuchero was right there, and again, that was another good pass and another pretty good defense. Not as tight as the previous defense had been on it, but nonetheless, the pass looked a little weird. It looked like a shot put for just a minute. It wasn't his typical form that we're used to him throwing back there. Speaking of Grimmett,
but you know what? It was right where King needed it.
Yeah,
which is, you know, big play here. Broke it for about 35 yards. And now they've got some breathing room. They can mix up this field a little bit, and they do as they roll around this right side, throw over complete to, is that Hale? Yeah, it is Hale.
That's Hale.
And I think he was out of bounds. What are they calling?
He's got a cramp or something. He's
having a hard time walking.
It might have been a dislocation even.
He hasn't gone down, so he's manning up. You know, they're going to help him probably over to the sideline before they bring him in.
It looked for one sec like he might have had a dislocation.
Oh. Yeah, he's not walking well, so
and he goes down.
Ooh, hate to see that. But I think the training staff probably told him to go down so that they could look at it.
Yeah, it looked like something dealing with the ankle.
Well, that's too bad because he doesn't even get the catch because they call him out of bounds.
For all your commercial John Deere new and used agricultural equipment, choose C&B Operations, Eastern Idaho's premier John Deere dealership. Visit C&B Operations at 1102 West Bridge Street in Blackfoot for all your equipment needs, or simply visit them online at DeereEquipment.com. That's DeereEquipment.com. C&B Operations in Blackfoot is a proud supporter of Blackfoot Athletics.
Isn't that how you spell deer when you write love letters to your wife?
Of course. That's why she married me, because she was smarter. Conquest Insurance Agency has been servicing your insurance needs for years. They are built on the principles of providing superior customer service and quality insurance solutions for their customers. As an independent agent, they work with select insurance companies that have proven their performance over the years. Conquest Insurance Agency is dedicated to getting you the best insurance products and services available today to protect you, your family, and your business. They're located at 144 West Bridge Street. A lot of businesses on Bridge Street in Blackfoot, or call them at 208-785-0760. They are proud supporters of the Blackfoot Broncos.
All right, folks, good news is that Hale, he came up, he ran off the field of his own 2 feet, not helped off.
Yeah, and it was
odd
how he stepped down on that initially. It just almost looked like a little dislocation.
Well, I think he came down wrong.
Yeah.
He landed on 1 foot, so I think he just came down, maybe stretched those
And it
ligaments.
wasn't from a tackle. He hugged the sideline to get it.
I don't even think he was tackled or touched even. He just was coming momentum out of bounds, and you and I both know, you probably more than I, that sometimes you get that all that momentum coming down on one leg, and that hurts.
Well, I think a prime example, you remember Taysom Hill in his junior year at BYU back in Nebraska, runs in that touchdown, and just stops quickly. No one was anywhere near him, and just that stopping and the weight on that ended up tearing that muscle on the top of his foot. Yeah, fractured the top of the foot.
Yeah. That cost him his season.
That's right. Of course, we'd have to say he's recovered and done pretty well.
He's what, in his 5th year with the NFL at $4 million a year? I'd
got
take
a new contract.
$4 million a year. I'm pretty sure that's a little more than they pay you or I.
Of course, he played right down the road at Highland High School.
I remember calling him.
Are you telling me BYU Idaho doesn't pay you like that?
No, I don't know why. They should, right?
They should. I'm not quite sure that Tyler Vance knew where that ball was. I don't even know if he knew for sure it was coming to him.
He was looking over his shoulder, and the ball came over his other shoulder, so he lost the ball.
He lost the ball. He was nowhere, aware that was for sure to him.
Which is good, because he could have made that pass. He's a big enough kid. Skyline wasn't playing him tight enough. That could have been dangerous.
Tyler Vance, good student as well.
I love that folks were looking at the rosters. Obviously, we don't know all these kids, but Blackfoot does a great thing. They put an asterisk by their high honors, highest honors, and honors. So you get to see the kids that not only are good athletes, but they're doing well academically.
Well,
so kudos to the Broncos.
A lot of 3.8, 3.9 students in this.
Well, as somebody who works at a university,
well.
I like seeing that.
That's right. Deegan Hell is a 4.0.
Oh,
student.
nicely defended. The Broncos really were beat. We are going to have a roughing the passer.
Yeah, this is in the backfield, and it was one of those. As I saw it happen, it looked like it could have been borderline, but boy, it was emphatically shown by the official as a roughing
double
the
flags.
passer.
Yeah, 2 of them got it. So
almost like he was mad about it.
That's another example of where Skyline held, did well. Really, no need for the penalty. The play was executed. They could have bumped him and pulled back.
But again, Blackfoot helped out by a penalty as well, and you'll take those all day long.
Oh, heavens,
if they'll give them to you, you will take them all day long. We only have a little over 2:20 to go in quarter number 3.
But with that 15-yard penalty from the line, that puts it at the 25-yard line. That's beautiful for Blackfoot.
Yeah,
They've demonstrated that they can hit King on those corner routes, and he knows how to stretch it out and fall into the end zone. Dangerous for the Grizz. They've really got to play. I don't know if they can afford to play man-to-man on anybody, because they've got a couple of weapons out there. Capson lining up in the wide out. You've got Vance lining up as a receiver. King at the top of the screen. They're going to hand off to Ramirez.
Yeah, one thing they've done a much better job of in the second half is defending Ramirez and not letting him get through that initial line. The place where Ramirez hurts you the most is when he gets through your initial line and gets into the your linebackers, your secondary and stuff. He's very tough.
Yeah, well, like you said, that low center of gravity. Alex Cortez making that stop. He was in that backfield. It's going to be a loss of 2 for the Broncos, and that's a plus if you're a Grizz fan.
So you notice these goalposts are blue. This field is shared with Idaho Falls, who is orange and black, and you got Navy and Royal. And Skyline has got the best of this matchup for a while. It's been quite dominating.
They've dominated for the last 9-10 years.
They get to paint the goalpost their color.
Oh, Skyline should have picked that off. I'm not quite sure what happened, but King was nowhere near that pass.
Well, they just simply overthrew him, so King became a defender, and he went and made the hit so that pass couldn't be caught. It was a great play by King in order to do that, but ultimately should have been picked off.
Even with that hit, I think the ball was tipped away. The receiver the defender was so excited that he wasn't getting burned for a touchdown. He forgot that he had to pull that in.
Yeah, this is going to bring up a 3rd down, and again, they're pretty much in 4 down territory here.
Well, I think you saw that by where they were throwing that. They were throwing for the end zone.
Yep.
I think you'll see it. Probably they'll throw for over the flat.
Yeah.
Maybe on the sideline throw here. It's been well for him. Grimmett now dancing around, trying to get past everybody. He's now going to throw it, and he's got receivers. Is it going to be caught? It is not
good.
It was out of the end zone.
So he was caught but pushed out in the air.
Oh, wow. That was fortuitous, because from my viewpoint up here in the press box, you saw him pull it in.
Yeah.
I thought it was a touchdown.
Yeah, the catch was good. All I can figure out is when he was in the air, the feet didn't end up coming down first, ended up being the upper body and touched out of bounds first. That's all I could figure. because that was a sensational catch, and what a great scramble job in the backfield by Grimmett to get that off.
That kid's an athlete. He dodged what, 3 tackles there, and then was running and threw into the end zone far enough back that he overthrew his
running left and throwing with his right hand.
That's impressive. That kid's going to get some looks by some colleges.
Yeah.
I don't know if D1.
Boy, I'll tell you what, these two teams are going to be so fun to watch the next couple of years. They got some juniors, some underclassmen in general that are just great talents. I think from a Skyline perspective, I think I'd like to see Sadiq a little more in the second half.
I'm surprised we haven't. All right, they're going to throw that screen pass. Really, oh my goodness, how did they do that? Skyline missed the first tackle with 3 tacklers, but they caught him behind the line of scrimmage still. That's going to be the turnover on downs that Skyline needed.
The second time here in the third quarter, the Skyline's forced a turnover on downs. Or
Blackfoot,
in the third quarter,
Blackfoot turned that over.
Yeah, but the second time that Skyline has forced it.
My apologies. Well, we've only got a minute 15 left in the third quarter. The score knotted up at 7 apiece. And Skyline with the hold, trying to see if they can do what they did on the last drive, take it down.
We're quite packed over on this side of the stadium with the Skyline fans. I'm a little surprised that our stadium's not more full over on the Blackfoot side.
Blackfoot travels well.
They do travel well. They've got a good. Of course, they are right in the middle of Spud Harvest right now as well, and so that could make a difference.
Oh, what a great catch and run by the Grizzlies, and a flag at the end of the play that's going to be a late hit.
Yep, that was an easy call.
George Price makes the catch and run. He gets the first down almost, I guess, with the catch, and then the extra 15 is going to make it a great catch and run.
Guess what grade George Price is in?
Freshman?
He's a junior. so he'll be back next year, like a lot of these players will.
Wow, there's some depth in both of these teams.
Yeah, there is.
You're right. You and I are going to have some fun over the next couple of years.
This game, I mean, let's face it, it's been a chess match, and it will continue to be a chess match as it goes forth. And now, Blackfoot, benefited from the Skyline penalties earlier in this quarter, and now Skyline benefiting from the Blackfoot penalties.
Well, at the right time. As you're coming down to the end of the first quarter, moving into the fourth, you want to have momentum. We see what the loss of momentum did to Skyline last week against Rigby. And Blackfoot, they defend that well.
Yeah, Silverio got hit early, and he was lucky that he fell forward for as much as he did. It looks like he might have got maybe 1.5 yards out of that play, possibly 2 yards. But
that's where they spot it. And they're going to spot it with a gain of 1.
Yeah.
I always love it when the officials kind of dance back and forth of a yard of where they're going to spot that. So you kind of pause to see. I know where I think it should be.
Especially when they do that near the first down marker.
Yeah.
First it's kind of like the flower petals. Yeah, I love you. I love you. I love you.
Yeah, who's ahead? No, they never watch the scoreboard. I know that. All right, Skyline 2nd and 9. Hackey lining up with another low snap, and he's going to get taken down.
Yeah, and again, that's another case of Blackfoot just getting into the backfield too early.
Even with that low snap, he should have had more time. Blackfoot just literally went in untouched.
Well, Braxton Marlett, the senior linebacker, another one of those 3.9 GPA students, gets into the backfield quick and easy. You talk about good students. Deegan Hell, great wide receiver for them. Again, another one of those juniors, 4.0 student. He's the only 4.0 student that I see here listed on the roster. A lot of 3.9 students, a lot of 3.5 students, but these guys.
That means he's vying for valedictorian.
That's right.
All right, folks, that brings us to the end of the third quarter. So with 1 quarter to go, we're going to step away for just a little break as the Grizz and the Broncos try to decide who's going to pull it off in the final.
It's not a secret that finding a new car this year is a little tricky. Between chip shortages and supply problems, there's more reasons than ever to come to our no-problem dealerships when you need a new car or truck. Our acquisitions team works hard to make sure that we have a great selection of vehicles to choose from, and our easy-to-buy, easy-to-do business with sales team is ready to deliver the same great value price that we've had for nearly 20 years. Teton Toyota, where it's always no problem to buy and service your car.
Welcome back to Ravston Stadium. We're here as we begin the fourth quarter. The score, Blackfoot and Skyline tied at 7. 1 quarter left to play. Skyline with the ball on a long third at midfield. Trying to see if they can get some time to pick up the yardage. Great up the middle play. They'll probably pick up 5 yards, but I don't think this is 4th down territory with a tied score in the 4th. Lance, what do you think?
Yeah, I I think, well, I don't know. You know, how much do you go for it? How much do you play conservative at this? You know, oftentimes you look and say don't stop doing the things that are working for you. But really, what has worked well for both teams?
Well,
not a lot.
For Skyline, they've really had a couple of breakaway running plays and a long pass play.
Well, and with trips on this side, you send one man into the middle on a cross route, and you got Sadiq out here on an island.
Oh, they're going to throw to Sadiq. Oh, he's really going to throw it. Nice throw, but did he? I almost thought he crossed the line of scrimmage, did he?
No, I think he was okay, but he went to his bailout receiver, which was a great job, which happened to be on that particular play, Severio. And, that was his check down receiver on that, as he was unable to get it to Sadiq. It ended up being Sadiq on the cross route, and so he ended up being double covered as the safety came over and picked him up with the DB as well.
Well, so we're going to have a turnover on downs. It's Blackfoot ball. We're just kind of going back and forth. It's back to the game between the 30s.
That's right. Yeah, the field's getting really worn out in a certain spot.
And it's
you
not
can tell
the
when
pitcher's mound.
you can tell when you got defensive teams because the field tends to wear out in these spots, you know.
And then it certainly has.
It's nice and green and lush towards the end zone.
All right, Blackfoot's going to see if they can just pick away at the Grizzlies and try to get downfield. Grimmett showing his athleticism again. He keeps the ball, goes up the middle. He's probably going to pick up 4 yards.
Yeah, he probably is. I think they're only going to give him back 2 on this, but that was a designed quarterback keeper on that play.
Yeah, he really didn't look down.
He tucked it early and ended up coming in again. That's one of the things when things have worked for. Boy, the down marker is nowhere near where the football is.
I'm just sitting here going, are my eyes deceiving me? Because it's not. It's about a yard.
It's almost like the side judge still hasn't figured it out.
I always wonder if my eyes are crooked when I see stuff like that. Blackfoot take the snap, a quick pass over the middle, great connection. I'm trying to see who it was. For the Broncos, that's number 2, Capson. That's the play you've been calling all night.
Yeah, and that's the receiver I talked about. That sometimes he gets lost in the shuffle. The defenders don't watch him quite as tight as they do other ones. But interestingly enough, we have not seen Hellback since he went off the field.
That's true.
Well, he is on the far side now.
But we haven't seen them pass to him.
He did come in, but he is on the far side. We've got King on this side. It'll be double coverage unless the other wideout ends up on a crossing route. It's going to be King on the cross route.
Grimmett's going to just tuck and run, come around the corner. He'll pick up the first down, and that could be a flag. It is a flag.
It's going to be a late hit.
And Grimmett's laying on the ground. He's hurting. He hit the kicking net as well, the framework for that. So I'm not sure which hurt him. Was it the hit or the connection? Now we're having some tempers get out of control between the Broncos and the Grizz, which, frankly, if you're Bronco, that's your quarterback that they just hit out of bounds. That's understandable.
And that's Chandler Robinson that hit him out of bounds.
That's not
I believe,
typical for Chandler.
Those jerseys are so tough to read on Skyline.
Yeah, they are. Grimmett, did he pop up and come back?
Yeah, and actually they list him as number 20. Yeah, it's listed number 28, Robinson. And it was obviously out of bounds.
Yeah.
Obviously out of bounds. And now we're going to get, this is going to be
another flag.
Yeah, and this is going to be a personal foul on the bench. This is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct on the bench. And this is going to result in an additional 15 yards on the play, which was just unnecessary. There's no need to do that. It was the most obvious out of bounds hit.
Yeah. Boy, somebody lost control and unsportsmanlike. It's going to go against the Skyline. Skyline just can't help themselves tonight. The penalties eating them alive.
Yeah. And now they're talking to him. They're saying, you go back to the sideline. No more.
Yeah, I've had it. When an official, wow, they're going to put that at the 8-yard line, first and goal.
We still have a flag on the field. It's the White Hats flag. So they got to get it over to him. Oh, no, never mind. It's back judge's flag.
Well, this is what Blackfoot needed.
Well, and that right there is 15 yards, and if you were Skyline, you couldn't afford to give to Blackfoot.
No.
You've got to make them earn those yardage.
I hate to see the box scores on this game tonight because the offense isn't going to be.
This is going to be offsides. This is going to be encroachment big time, easily. So they had a blitz on by the linebacker.
No, I think
there's another
motion.
5 yards.
I think it's motion.
No, it's
Nope.
going to be
Got him.
It was the outside linebacker came in on a blitz.
Well, he did, but
and he
the
crossed the
tackle
line.
flinched, and that usually.
Well, but if he crosses the line before the flinch,
And
it's going to be on that linebacker. It's going to be on the defender each time.
And I didn't catch that. I just saw the flinch and thought, uh-oh. All right, so we're literally at the 5-yard line as the Broncos now just looking first and goal from the 5. They're looking to just probably let Ramirez dance into the end zone. He's earned one, that's for sure. They're going to throw into the
It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be offsides again, half the distance to the goal. You know, this is one of those scenarios when if people are just checking into this game right now, they're going to be surprised at this score, 7-7. They're going to see for two prolific offenses, why is that such a low score? This is exactly what I expected in this game. It was a low score. Two teams that run such a similar offense. The defenses see it every single day in practice. It is tough to score. Yeah. You know, it's like watching, you know, people who are into like, you know, mixed martial arts and stuff. It's like watching two grapplers, two submission specialists on the ground, you know, and half the time it ends up in a fist fight standing up because neither one of them can get the better of the other one.
Well, we just about had this down here with that late hit. We just about had the fist fight.
We just about did, yeah.
All right, Blackfoot's going to hand off to Ramirez, who does dance into the end zone. Told you, he's earned it. He got it.
Yep.
It's now Blackfoot's game to lose.
That's right.
They'll go up now 13-7 with 10 minutes left in the fourth. That just hurts. 3 straight penalties against Skyline just really became.
And I'll tell you, as good as Blackfoot was moving down the field, Skyline helped him out a ton too. You know, you got to keep your composure.
Yeah, you can't afford to give a team that's really shown us they can run, showed us they can throw, short passes, long passes. Skyline did not need to give them that. And now with the extra point up, score, Blackfoot 14, Skyline 7. Skyline trying to find the opportunity that they can try and pull back into this game. We're going to drop away to our sponsors. We'll be back in just a moment.
Scott here from Teton Honda in Pocatello. Our dealership operates on a no-problem philosophy that's designed to put you in charge of your next vehicle purchase. Prefer to shop online? No problem. Evenings or weekends? No problem. Need a wide range of financing and leasing options? No problem. So whether it's one of our beautiful new Hondas or just a vehicle that's new to you, at Teton Honda, we'll help you find the perfect vehicle for your needs. Experience car buying like never before at Pocatello's only No Problem dealership.
Ravston Stadium, we are in a barn burner here. 10 minutes left in the game. Blackfoot just scoring on the Grizzlies. The score, Blackfoot Broncos 14, the Skyline Grizzlies 7. Skyline trying to get out of their own way because they just, penalties have absolutely decimated anything that they've tried to do positively on their homecoming night. You just don't want to do that on homecoming. So hopefully they'll be able to get it together as Blackfoot's going to give them back the ball, and we'll see if they can get their offense moving tonight. So Vera's going to take the kickoff return, and he's going to bring it out probably 25. Gets the 30 out of it. Surprisingly, I thought he was just running right into the crowd.
Well, I'll tell you of a shocker of a score that's going on right now. So Century, who has really struggled this year, up 21-7 at half over a 3-0 5A Idaho Falls team.
What?
21-7 at half.
That's a shocker because Idaho Falls has really shown that they can play this year. And Century, they've had some wins, certainly.
That's
They
right.
pounded on my Bonneville Bees pretty badly. But so has everybody. I did not expect that score. That is a shocker. You're right.
Yeah, Bishop Kelly, after getting shut out last week, beating Nampa 21-7 there at the half.
That's interesting. Some good football going on tonight. A flag flies in the backfield, probably a hold.
Yep.
As Skyline brings it out, they get the first down, and this is a perfect example of what has happened tonight. It works for them. They get great yardage, and they shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, 1 step forward, 2 steps back once again.
I'm not sure they're getting 1 step forward.
Yeah. Well, right there. They come all the way down the sideline just to come back, you know.
Yeah, gain of 15 on the play, and it's going to go from the spot of the foul back another 10.
Tell you, in the fourth quarter, 38-6, Highland leading Pocatello. That's a big rivalry game, even though it's a 5A, 4A matchup. And that's a good Pocatello team. I had an opportunity to watch them against Ogden earlier this year in the Rocky Mountain Rumble, and they are a fantastic team. And Emmett, who shut out Bishop Kelly last week, 28-0 right now.
What?
Over Ridgeview. And so that Emmett's going to be a tough team.
Low snap. Hackey picks it up off the turf. He connects out to Sadiq. Sadiq powering through. He's going to pick up a great game, but it's going to set up a 3rd and a probably 7 for the Grizzlies. A final coming also now in the Rigby. Who they're playing? Rigby Hillcrest. Thank you. Rigby having no trouble, 35-0 the final over Hillcrest. So,
Homedale 38-21 in the third quarter over a good Sandpoint team that beat 5A Madison up there.
Yep, they did.
This game's being played at Homedale.
All right. Silverio takes the snap. He goes up the middle. He picks up a couple yards, but when you got a 3rd down and you only pick up a couple, that's going to set up 4th and 5. Yeah. Okay, we've got 9 minutes left, down a touchdown. They're going to go for it.
Well, you figure they're going to anyway. And Berger's always been
is this a 4th down? The marker says 3rd.
He's always been a very aggressive coach anyway for this type of stuff, and that's one thing I've always liked about Berger.
Yes.
He's always kept the games exciting because he's a guy when maybe traditional thought says don't, he'll go for it.
This is the 3rd down because they replayed that 1st down after the penalty, and I forgot about that. Hackey gets really a yard on the play, though.
With 8:50 on the clock, almost 9 minutes, boy, I think you're safest to punt here. But again, Berger, he knows his team much better than I do, and he very well might go for it. But yeah, he's going to put Sadiq back.
It's probably not the best move, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Sadiq. I mean, he's got the athleticism. He could run or he could throw.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know that Scott's going to pull that off. He's only a touchdown score away. He's not going to get crazy, I think. Sadiq kicks it. He gets a good hit. Blackfoot takes it. Nice move. Ramirez really should have got clocked about 10 yards back, and he just juked, got out of the way, and picked up an extra 10 yards. So they're going to set up at the 31. Blackfoot, good position from the 31. I think if I'm Blackfoot, I'd try some running plays, see if we can eat some clock, and not give Skyline really an opportunity until they have to run hurry-up offense, which has not shown to be their game yet.
Down at the 2A ranks tonight, a lot of people expected, including myself, a really tight game between the number 1 ranked Westside Pirates and a good Coal Valley Christian team. Fourth quarter, Westside's up 41-6
over Coal Valley.
Yeah, that's only the second team that has scored on Westside this year. The other one being Firth, who's up 21-0 at halftime on a 3-0 3A South Fremont team.
Dang. What was the Snake River Marsh, or was it Marsh Valley? Sugar and Marsh Valley.
Marsh Valley and Sugar. Sugar was up 28-6 there.
Marsh Valley's a good team.
And Marsh Valley is a good team. And Sugar, you're reigning 3-time state champions after being beat
having a rough start
in the first 2 showings and having it. Now they've gone down and beat a Star Valley team that Star Valley would be 4A if they were in the state of Idaho based upon their school size, and then beating the Marsh Valley team right now in the fourth quarter, 28-6.
Interesting night in football everywhere, not just here apparently, as Blackfoot now setting up on a 2nd and 7, and Ramirez takes that hand up right up the middle, spinning. Tough kid to bring down. He's going to get the first down.
And the amount of yards that he got on that play was extra impressive because the box was fairly packed.
Yeah, it was.
By Skyline, because they did send 2 receivers right, but everybody else was packed, and that brought the linebackers in and as well. And boy, he carried the day on that. He's trying to make a case for player of the game.
So far, doing a heck of a job.
That's right.
Kid's going to get a contract.
Remember,
can't pay him anything but hot dogs.
That's right. Remember, after the game, we will have our IdahoSports.com player of the game.
We will, and it's going to be a tough one tonight. Tough to pick out players both sides. And it's a deep pass, and it's going to be caught by the Broncos. Is he inbounds? He is
Boy,
inbounds.
Hell, fantastic. And I'll tell you what, good to see Hell back on the field.
Yeah.
We didn't know for sure exactly what the nature of the injury was, other than he was just struggling to walk at first over here on the near side in the third quarter. So
he
proved he's
proven he can run. I don't know about walking. But
what's been impressive about so many of the catches tonight by Blackfoot is that they've been well defended. I'll tell you what, the DBs are very good for Skyline. very, very good. So you know, if you're Skyline, you look at it, you say, hey, if someone's going to catch a ball on us, they're going to have to earn it. Well, Skyline has made them earn it, and they have.
Well, and Blackfoot with a 1-touchdown lead and control of the ball at this point in time, just kind of doing what they want. That play not going to get much out of it, but what they did get is a running clock.
Yeah, well, that play there was designed for Ramirez to come farther to the outside, and he had a blocker. It was actually Hell that was going to block for him on the far side, but the defensive end got in quickly and cut him off, so he had to cut up, and then he had defensive help in there and brought him right down.
6 minutes left in this game, folks. Blackfoot up 14-7, and the ball 2nd and 9 as they try to pick up another first down and coast really through this fourth quarter with the lead. Really showing some great athleticism. Grimmett keeps the ball, and look at that. He's going to try and pick up the first down. He's probably going to pick up 5 yards, not the first.
Yeah, Grimmett does. Farnsworth gets in there on the tackle, finally brings him down.
But I thought he was going to break it.
I thought he was. I thought he was too. In fact, I thought he was a little farther ahead than what he was. I kind of lost sight a little bit of the sticks. He's got a 3rd and 5 coming up, which is certainly manageable. However, this is in that territory that they've got 2 plays to pick up these 5 yards.
And they've got the running people. Ramirez shown it.
That's right.
They can always air it out one of these plays to King or Hale. Shown that they do the misdirection well.
They're not going to have any single coverage with the deep safety on this. They're not going to have any single coverage, but they are going to jam at the line.
Ramirez is going to get the first down, maybe even farther. He does. He goes that corner. He's going to pick up the first down, and I think the 12-yard line. Maybe the 11, trying to see where they're spotting. I think the 11.
Well, I can tell you this. Any questions, and we talked about Blackfoot out of these 2 teams having more questions coming into this game than answers. They have answered every question that we had about them. Blackfoot is a very, very, very good team, and the fact that they're not in the top 5 is going to change whether they win or lose this game.
I think absolutely right. Anybody who pays attention, of course they're going to watch our broadcast and pay attention to this game. They've seen Blackfoot do what they wanted, really, in this half. Skyline could have probably been better in this game if they hadn't been penalties, but
and right now they've just got the defensive line from Skyline on their heels.
We're going to have an official timeout as one of the Skyline players just taking a minute to get up. I don't think he's hurt horribly, but it's going to give us a chance to recognize some more.
Well, and it's an official's timeout, so he will have to come off for at least a play. Conquest Insurance Agency has been servicing your insurance needs for years. They're built on the principles of providing superior customer service and quality insurance solutions for their customers. As an independent agent, they work with select insurance companies that have proven their performance over the years. Conquest Insurance Agency is dedicated to getting you the best insurance products and services available today to protect you, your family, and your business. Located at 144 West Bridge in Blackfoot, or call them at 208-785-0760. They're proud supporters of the Blackfoot Broncos. Spudnik is an international company meeting the needs of potato growers in both field and storage equipment across the globe. Spudnik customer-focused commitment to the potato industry has allowed them to grow and invest millions of dollars in research and development in manufacturing methods and potato equipment technology. This investment continues to put Spudnik on the cutting edge of machinery development and as a partner with potato growers to feed the world. Their corporate headquarters are located in Blackfoot. And Spudnik is proud to support the local high schools and their student athletes.
Alex Cortez down on the sideline, or down on the field, comes off the sideline on his own accord, so he's going to be okay. Blackfoot just pounding it up the middle. They're awfully close to that goal line.
Yeah, it looks like they're about on the 2-yard line, which it looked to me like he got a little closer than that.
I thought so too. I was questioning
I guess if the 2-yard line is what it is, that's what it is.
Wondering if they were going to get another touchdown.
Yeah.
4 minutes and counting here.
Well, and 1 more yard, and they can pick up a first down. They can be first and goal from the 1.5.
That's true. I didn't even check the down marker. They're just going to punt it up the middle. Ramirez has had a great night. Oh, Grimmett's going to fake him out. He's going to get into the end zone. No, he does not.
I think he reached the ball across, but the difference was his foot had already stepped out of bounds. But
okay, I was watching
this is a first down. This is a first down. This is going to be first and goal.
All right, maybe we ought to just recognize another one of our sponsors, Thompson, Holman, and Weiler. They've served East Idaho for 25 years. The law firm offers extensive experience in a wide range of legal services and represents a broad range of clients, from local individuals to international corporations. They realize how important a client's case is to them individually, so they strive to give each case the attention it would receive if the client were handling it to themselves. Call Michael White today at 522-1230. Blackfoot now takes the handoff. He's going to be caught in the backfield, going to get a loss of 3 on the play. Wow. They probably don't care.
Great defense. And I'll tell you what, Parker Kuchera is not going to get credit for a tackle on that, but him coming up and getting in there quickly to the backfield is actually what turned Ramirez into his teammates for Skyline to get that tackle. Fantastic play by the senior Parker Kuchera.
Yeah, well, the second and goal from the 3, you'll let them bounce a couple of those off because it just takes more time away from the possession that Skyline's going to get. They'll give Ramirez another shot. He takes up the middle. He's tripped at the line, but he does get past it. I think he's going to take it down to the 1. I'm not sure if I can see that right, but I think it's the 1, maybe the 1.5 yard mark.
I'm really surprised they haven't hit the edge here.
Well, Jackson Grimmett did. He came around this corner.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you've got, now that you're over here on the left hash mark, you've got 2 blockers and your receivers out on that outside, and
a long field.
Yep, and a really long field to the right side. I'm surprised they didn't take advantage of it that particular time. And again, not questioning the coach, just saying what I see.
Well, I think it's again, not a coach, but with 2 minutes, 56 seconds and counting, I think they're just trying to keep that clock going.
They could, but the thing you got to be careful of is not stopping the things that work the best for you.
Ramirez is going to be stopped again. Skyline really, they're going to sack him back at the 4.
Now, possibly what they were doing, too, is just to keep it there and saying, hey, let's go ahead and kick a field goal if we need to, and it makes it a 2-score game anyway if they do, and we're going to get the timeout.
Yeah, that'll give us a chance to – let me just finish that one for Thompson, Holman, Wheeler. Thompson, Holman, Wheeler, Michael White at Thompson, Holman, Weiler. Call him today, 522-1220, or visit their website, www.thwlaw.com. The law, right? Thompson, Holman, Weiler is proud to support the Skyline football and wishes the Grizzlies good luck in tonight's game. And also Rockwell Homes, they're in Idaho Falls, and they're Southeast Idaho's #1 builder. They use local subcontractors, and they uphold the highest quality standards. Rockwell Homes strives to exceed your expectations to create a unique and innovative home tailored to your needs and lifestyle. Are you ready to start building your dream home? Let Rockwell Homes help design the perfect place for you and your family to call home. To see available homes, floor plans, and other great information, go online, rockwellhomes.net. The Johnson family and everyone at Rockwell Homes are proud of the local student athletes and want to wish them best of luck in tonight's game.
Now, this is a crucial kick here because this makes it a 2-possession game if it goes in. That looked like it went far right. No, I guess
it went in. With you, I'm thinking it just missed that, but Vance gets that field goal. And
well, with 2.5 minutes left, I mean, it's a 2-possession game, and Skyline still has 2 timeouts, all 3 to Blackfoot, as they have not burned any this half. But Skyline, remember, they burned that early one when they, those kind of you hate to do on an extra point. Or a field goal try.
Just heads up play by the Broncos tonight, and time to work on penalties for the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
you take some of these penalties out,
especially some of the needless ones. There's some that are reasonable based upon the level of aggression that you play. That you're going to pick some up. Based upon your aggression.
Well, you've got
maybe jumping and getting some encroachments, things like that. But personal foul,
you're going to get a couple of PIs when you got Javonte King back there. You got to play him aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
So, that doesn't surprise me. But when you have any team with 100-plus yards in negative yards and penalties.
When you start adding in, in sportsmanlike conduct and things like that, those really hurt. Those are 15-yard penalties, and those are killers.
Yep. Skyline not having their way tonight, as the Broncos showing that they deserve to be talked about in the 4A rankings.
Well, and if this score stands, the Broncos are going to move to 2-2, and you're reigning state champions and still, in my opinion, one of the top couple teams in 4A in the state. Push the 5A #1 team to the limits is going to go out of here if this score stands. 1 win, 3 losses on the season to start.
Unheard of for the Grizzlies. Blackfoot kicks it into the end zone. No, Silverio's going to take it at the 1, and he's got some speed, but he's going to be tripped up barely. as he brings it out to the 29-yard line. I thought for a second he was gonna blitz past that tackler, but he got him by the shoestrings.
Yeah, and Trayden Henderson, he's another one of those juniors, O-line, D-line, of course, on special teams here. He's another one of those 3.8, 3.9 GPA students. Comes over and makes the tackle, and I'll tell you what, had he not have got that, that might have been, I'm not saying necessarily a breakaway.
Big yardage. It would have been big yardage.
Silverio could have potentially got out to midfield at least.
Trayden having a good night tonight. It's good to see family have that great success. Skyline, Hackey rolls around. He throws it into the ground, trying to keep it protected because there was triple coverage.
I've never seen Hackey throw with the accuracy problems that he's having tonight. However, a lot of that you got to give to Blackfoot because the pressure that they brought into the backfield has been immense.
Yeah, he did have time to make the throw that time, but I don't think he's used to it. He's used to that hurry-up throw, and pass just a little bit short for his receiver. With just over 2 minutes to go and a 10-point deficit, you can't throw it into the ground. You gotta gamble. Hackey's going to drop back, and now he's going to look to go deep. And he does.
He's got a man, too.
And does he call it in? He brings it in. He does bring it in. Oh, my goodness. Is that Galbraith? Is that number 5?
Well, no, that's Sadiq.
That's Sadiq.
That's Sadiq, and I'll tell you, then he had to be careful stepping up because he steps up and steps over the defender and started talking back to him, and you can't afford a personal foul penalty.
Not at this point.
Not at
Great.
that point, but Sadiq,
best offensive play of the night.
That's what we expect from Sadiq, and that time Hackey did have the time to throw.
And Hackey's going to throw over the middle. He's lucky he didn't get picked off. It's going to
and I'm not quite sure who he's going to. It looked like he had Notstad out on the outside, the senior wide receiver, 5'10", 170, but it got knocked down early.
I don't see who that is out there. Lights are bad. It's number 4. Trying to see who that is running off. Ethan Notstad?
Yeah.
He was wide open right at the first down marker.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they were trying to go for him or not because both defenders out there, the safety and the DB, bit on the inside receiver.
Yeah, well, it's a great ability to be a armchair quarterback when you're up here and you can see the whole field.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Hackey trying to figure it out. He's going to roll to the left side of the field. He throws a good play, but well out of bounds. Smart move. His receiver was open, but that extra 5 yards didn't help him at all.
This overall, I think the way to say it, because Hackey's a good quarterback. He's just a junior. He'll be back next year. Was a great JV quarterback last year. Got a little bit of varsity
Cade
time.
Marlowe, who is just an incredible quarterback for the Grizzlies.
But tonight has not been Hackey's night.
Yeah,
and
that's a good way to put it.
I think it's fair to say, and he's a great quarterback, and every quarterback has those nights.
And tonight's the night. Fortunately, Blackfoot's hanging on to the lead with 2 minutes, 11 seconds to go. Blackfoot 17-7 over the Grizz. Grizz is going to make the pass over the middle. He's going to connect, pick up probably a gain of 8 on the play.
Yeah, and it does make for a reasonable,
fourth
down attempt here. You still got 2 minutes on the clock. You got both your timeouts remaining, or 2 of your 3 timeouts remaining. And I think in this one, you don't necessarily try to get too fancy. I think you just try to hit the sticks somewhere here, whether it's a pass or a run. Probably should be a run, and then you look at Sadiq on first down.
He's going to roll over the right. He's going to make the throw and the catch.
What a great catch!
Boy, that was. I can't see who it is.
That was Taggart, Caden Taggart, the junior receiver.
That's who I was talking about earlier. He's got some. Yeah. He's got some abilities, and that's going to give him the first down they need at really the. I'm trying to see probably the 13-yard line.
And Taggart's a name we usually call quite a bit throughout the ballgame. We have just not been able to call it much tonight as they've really struggled in the passing game.
But interesting as Blackfoot plays back on the prevent, Hackey having the time to throw, but he's throwing into double coverage in the end zone on that one, and just nothing there. The Blackfoot defender just crawls up and tips it away.
Well, we've seen a lot of times today where the defense was fantastic, but the offense was just better. That's one where the pass was fantastic, but the defense was just better.
Yeah, well, double coverage in that corner. It kind of looked like the same play they called a PI on with King earlier, but I don't have the angle, the official right there in front of him, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
The defender was defending the ball. He went up after it, and I didn't see egregious comment
well, nobody
contact.
yelled either. So, all right, Hackey looking.
We're going to get a false start on this. They're going to call it encroachment. This is going to be on Blackfoot.
Well, that's going to help. That's going to help. That's exactly what they do. Lance, you've got the eagle eye. I'm totally impressed.
Well, now you got a 2nd and 5.
Second
Coming
5
up,
with
yep.
a minute 36 to go. 10 points to make up. That's going to be awfully tough tonight.
Yep, 2-possession game. $1:36 on the clock. And again, they've been able to keep those timeouts, which is, you only had 2 left. You had to blow one early in the 3rd quarter.
All right, they've got the ball at the 7-yard line, 2nd and 5, but needing the goal line right now, not waiting. Had a great chance, well defended by the Broncos. Went through the defender's hands, and Sadiq couldn't see the ball.
No,
last minute reached for it, but it was too late.
Yeah, and even then, I think Sadiq touched it.
He did.
Obviously was not able to pull in the grab, but
that would have been a Sports Center highlight if you could catch it with that defense. So it's going to set up 3rd and 5. I think Skyline's going to use one of those timeouts. No,
it's actually Blackfoot's going to use one of their 3 timeouts as well.
Interesting.
Conan Heating and Air Conditioning is your Lennox premier dealer in Idaho Falls. Conan Heating and Air Conditioning has been providing superior HVAC service in the Idaho Falls area since 1946. That's 75 years. With highly qualified and experienced technicians, no job is too big or too small. For all your furnace repair needs in Idaho Falls, trust the job to Conan Heating and Air Conditioning. Visit them online for more information at Conan, C-O-N-A-N, heating.com. Conan Heating.com. They've been in for 75 years. Boy, this valley has changed a lot in 75 years from when they started.
I say that every time I drive down.
And I'm telling you right now, everybody had heaters back then, but there's a lot more people with air conditioners now than there was back then, 75 years ago as well.
Yeah, when my wife and I bought our first home, air conditioning wasn't even something you asked about. Didn't
not in this area.
Yeah, nobody had it. And now nobody will buy a house without air conditioning.
There's always those couple weeks during the summer where you got to open up the windows and get some flow going because it gets a little hot. But usually just for a couple weeks. This summer was extremely hot.
Yeah, we had some 100-degree days.
And for a long time.
Skyline, Hackey in the backfield, lone backfield. He's going to pull it around, and he's going to keep it and get the first down. Great move, but it is going to... Touchdown, Skyline. I didn't think he broke the plane, but he did. Hackey kind of redeeming himself. Earlier.
Well, and had he not have got that, he would have got the first down. It would have been 1st and goals. They could pick that up on the 2-yard line, but he.
But time becomes a factor there.
Yeah, he went all the way in, and the blocking was good, and then and your outside linebackers bit with the wide receiver, the wide out going out on that, and he was able to cut into the middle.
Okay, they're going to kick the ball. I kind of thought maybe they'd go for 2, but they kick. It's going to be up and looks to be good.
No good.
Oh,
so they've got to have a touchdown. If they want to win this, they've got to have a touchdown. Now, I think it's almost a guarantee we're going to see an onside kick coming up.
Absolutely. There's no other way for them to try and get the ball back. None whatsoever. So you'll see Blackfoot with their good hands team coming in here to pick it up. And we're gonna probably see an exciting finish. It'd be typical of these two teams to have Skyline kick an onside kick and recover it with a minute 27 left, and we still don't know who's going to win this game for sure. Right now, it is Blackfoot's game to lose as they lead with a minute 27 left. It's Blackfoot 17, Skyline 13 as they missed the extra point on that last touchdown drive. Looking to see who they put up here on the line for Blackfoot. You send in every receiver and tight end, right?
That's right. That's right. And anyone who can secure the ball, who has the hands to secure the ball, you put in.
And that's exactly what they do. You got Hale here.
Might even bring in a couple JV kids if they got really good hands.
Well, why not? Good way for them to let her. One play. And they do the onside kick. Blackfoot's going to just grab it and fall.
Yeah, one of the up linemen ended up being able to come up there and grab it. And
Vance, the kicker, picked that up. Well, good for him. He can show both offense and defense, I guess. All right, Skyline now really they really don't have much opportunity to try and pull this back. A minute 27. Blackfoot throws a couple of running plays at them, and they run out of time. Yeah, Skyline does have 2
Skyline
timeouts.
still
That's
has
true.
their
They
2
can call.
timeouts.
Yeah.
And you still have 2 left for Blackfoot as well. And so you're not going to see a nil-down situation here. They are going to have to take some time off the clock, traditional.
Well, I think they'll run it. They've got Ramirez in that backfield who has had a great night, certainly auditioning for player of the game.
But with the timeouts available to Skyline, you can't give the ball back to Skyline.
They kneel. That is not what I would have called. I would have given that ball to Ramirez and had him hit that line.
Well, mathematically, it just doesn't make sense.
Especially when you're in a shotgun and you kneel. You just lost 7 yards. And I get that the clock's going. The Skyline not calling a timeout. I thought they would.
Yeah, we show, and the board still shows that they have 2 timeouts.
I don't know what they're saving it for. Now, under a minute left for Blackfoot, and they're just going to wisely let that clock tick off. Almost act like they're going to have a delay of game. Let that go. Now they can take the snap, and they'll lose another 7 yards, but 40 seconds. Skyline will call the timeout. They have to at this point, and they do. Skyline calls the timeout. 40 seconds left, 17-13. Broncos on the lead. Skyline trying to figure out some way to get the ball back and take a Hail Mary shot at the end zone.
Well, both these teams can stay in conference next week as they both head on the road. It is Blackfoot heading down to Preston.
That's probably the game to watch.
Yeah, and then, of course, you got
Skyline going over to
Skyline
Bonneville.
going over to Bonneville. And you know what? Don't forget Shelley in this conference. Shelley going into tonight's game.
3-0, aren't they?
3-0. They've done really well. Not quite sure how they're doing tonight. But, of course, you can go on. You can log on to IdahoSports.com, go into Friday Night Flash, and you can check up on scores as well.
Lance doing a great job. We love Friday Night Flash because it gives us the activity around the state of Idaho.
It does.
And some great football being played tonight. Not just here. We've had a great, exciting game. It's always an exciting game when there's 40 seconds left and you're still trying to see if one of the teams can maneuver for a win.
Yeah, and we don't have an update on that Shelley score yet. They are out in Twin Falls at Canyon Ridge, out there on the west side of Twin Falls.
Canyon Ridge traditionally struggles.
They have traditionally struggled.
But
so Shelley could very well be 4-0 coming into this next week.
All right, Blackfoot's now going to take the snap, and they just kind of run around and then finally drop down to keep the clock running. He was trying to eat up more time. And now the clock's going to keep running. Grizzlies have no choice but to either let them run that play out or call a timeout. We're showing they still have 1 timeout. And they're acting like they don't, and they're going to let the clock go and end the game. As the teams start to walk off the field, counting down from 14 seconds.
Well, they must be out of timeouts. I only had them as using the 1 before these final 2.
They don't have it. They're going to let time go out, and the final is in now as the Blackfoot Broncos pull off the win and show everybody in the 4A ranks that they deserve to be ranked. They knock off, at least in one of the polls, the 4A top seed in Skyline. The final score 17-13. The Broncos with the win in an amazing night of football here at Ralston Stadium. We're going to sneak away to recognize our sponsors while Matt, Lance, and I talk about the IdahoSports.com player of the game, and we'll be back to discuss the game after just a minute.
Lead the charge into a brighter future with the all-new 2022 Volkswagen ID4. With an EPA estimated range of 250 miles, the ID4 knows how to go the distance. It's an electric SUV that's as fun to drive as it is stylish and functional. You don't have to sacrifice good looks for great performance. So stop by our dealership today and jumpstart your year with the Volkswagen ID4. Teton Volkswagen, where it's always no problem to buy and service your vehicle.
We are back here at Ravston Stadium. The final now in as the Blackfoot Broncos defeat the Skyline Grizzlies by a final score of 17-13 in a wonderfully competitive night of football here at Ravston Stadium. I'm joined by our cameraman Matt Kelly and Lance Taylor. Lance, what are your thoughts on tonight's game?
Well, I think it's a little shocker for most people, as Skyline had kept that number one ranking, at least in their, in the coaches poll. They were second in the media poll, but Blackfoot, had some unanswered questions. Blackfoot came in and answered every question there was. And one thing we found out is we know that Skyline's good. Blackfoot.
Skyline's probably the best 1-3 team in the state.
Yeah, there's no question at any level. And we knew one of these teams tonight was going to leave 1-3. The other one's going to go 2-2. But on top of it, we were brought some great entertainment tonight.
We did. We saw some great positives on both sides of the field. We saw King make a couple of those catches that Coach Berger was afraid of. He got them. We also saw Skyline with a couple of players who, Hackey picked it up, pulled the touchdown run in as he tucked it and ran. He launched a couple of good passes. Taggart picked up one. Sadiq had some great plays. Skyline just not able to get past those penalties, offsetting their offense.
Yeah.
They spent far too much time on their heels trying to figure out how they beat themselves. Really.
Well, you look at some of the teams that are conference tonight. Pocatello lost. They lost to Highland. That was a non-conference game, of course, for a 5A matchup as well. Middleton won again, and Middleton's a team that's very tough. Middleton put up over 60 points last week. Right now, Twin Falls, Jerome, of course, we're talking separate conference there, and that it did go final, by the way, that Homedale Sandpoint game. Sandpoint, very good 4A team, 38-21. Homedale picks up the win there, and in the fourth quarter, late in the fourth quarter, it's Rigby 35-0 over Hillcrest.
That is final.
Yep, that is, and we talked about it at the half. Not quite sure where Century and Idaho Falls are now, but at the half, Century was leading Idaho Falls 21-7, and still no score on the Canyon Ridge Shelley game. But we looked down at the fourth quarter. South Fremont has finally put some points on the board, but you got Firth 21 there. West Jefferson shutting out Malad 38-0.
Ouch, that's your come on.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Valley goes scored us again 34-0 as Melvin knocks them off. And that game against Coal Valley Christian at Westside went final 47-14. Westside very, very good. And right now, Declo is beating Buell 16-12. So that's late in the fourth.
Lance, an interesting thing going out on the field is we see the Broncos. I thought they were having a victory formation, but they just took a knee, and it looks like their number 6 is, or maybe it's Bowen Robinson, is leading them in prayer.
8, yeah.
It's in prayer. You don't see that very often in the high school ranks. A little bit surprised.
No, you don't. And maybe maybe it's specifically honoring somebody too. We don't know.
Could be.
Don't know quite what that was, but tonight was a homecoming night for Skyline, and not the way they want to leave. A homecoming night. I would say that Skyline's left a lot out on the field this year. A number of points out there tonight. I think the struggle was just Hackey struggled to get going, and a lot of that wasn't necessarily Hackey as much as it was the defense.
Yeah, those low snaps.
For Blackfoot getting in, Blackfoot just continued to get in. Those low snaps did not help. Looked like the low snaps kind of got worked out a little bit, in the fourth quarter. But I think it certainly hurt them. I think they left some points on the field in the first half because of that.
Well, definitely a lot of notes on Coach Berger's notepad of things they've got to work on. They did iron some of them out, just not enough to pull off that win. Came back, tried to make it a game, a competitive game. Just ran out of gas, ran out of time, ran out of field. I don't know what you want to call it, but
you're right. Not all accounts.
It did not work for them. And tough loss. We're going to see Skyline drop out of the rankings. They're 1-3. You'll see them drop out, but not go away. We'll hear from Skyline again.
Yeah, this very well might be the last game that they lose.
Possible.
They head over to Bonneville next week. Bonneville team that has struggled.
Yeah,
And-
Bonneville's coach is
and,
doing some things right. Coach
yeah.
Kemp is
It just takes time to turn a program around, and they've struggled for the last several years. And
yeah, they were decimated by
and,
that
yeah.
Thunder Ridge.
Yeah,
going in. Really,
a
really
lot of
killed
those
them.
athletes left, and Hillcrest was too. You know,
Yeah,
Hillcrest struggling
absolutely.
in football. Both of them should have pretty decent basketball teams this year. In fact, Hillcrest should be very good. But when Thunder Ridge came in, you know, they took some pretty good players over you know, that now fell in their school boundaries, and so, you know, you got to anticipate that Skyline most likely will pick up a victory there. I anticipate that Blackfoot picks up a victory down at Preston tomorrow. Next week. Both teams play on the road, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Well, Blackfoot Preston could surprise you. They're one of those teams that
They're
have
a lot like
athletes.
Shelley this year, although Shelley beat them earlier.
Okay.
To start the season. That was a conference game to start the season.
Well, I think we witnessed what the playoffs are going to be like, at least at the 4A ranks here in the High Country Conference. As we saw the Broncos pull off this win, and Skyline back to revisit the winning tendencies of their past, and try to put it together. This has just been football at its best.
That's right.
And it's been great to share it with you guys.
Same.
Hope that you folks here on the game stream have enjoyed the game. We've tried not to bore you to death as we watched football and discussed our lives. But this has been an IdahoSports.com game stream production of East Idaho Game Night, presented by Toyota Auto Group. Our major sponsors that make coverage on IdahoSports.com possible include your local Toyota dealer, Toyota, Let's Go Places, Valley-wide Co-op and Country Stores, and Project Filter, Idaho Fights Tobacco. We'd like to also thank our local advertisers tonight, Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute, Conan Heating and Air, All Things Automotive, Rockwell Homes, MVP Rentals, Blaine Robbins Electric, Teton Auto Group, 21st Century Auto Sales, Conquest Insurance, and again, Bingham Memorial Orthopedic Institute. We talked about it, and we're going to call it IdahoSports.com Player of the Game, Austin Ramirez. He just was, I think you said it best, Lance, level play all game long.
Yep. He was a factor all game long. Other players were factors at particular times. He was a factor every quarter of this ball game.
Yeah, and consistent. I think that's the word I was looking for, was consistent. Yeah. He was consistent. He got tackled, but he kept pounding that line, and he dropped that center of gravity and tough to bring down. And he really was the difference. So our congratulations.
Very
to Austin.
worthy of that player of the game tonight.
He'll get to wear that badge proudly for a week, and we'll see if he can maintain that next week down in Preston. Thanks for joining us tonight as the Blackfoot Broncos defeat the Skyline Grizzlies by a final score of 17-13. For my broadcast partner, Lance Taylor, and our wonderful cameraman, Matt Keller.